Aloha everybody and welcome to the third annual Life Champions Senior Bowl right here on ScoringLive.com. I'm Anahola Joe Pahukula and I'll be along Michael Lascaro for broadcasting today's game, and we are at Vidina Stadium on a sunny afternoon here on the island of Kauai. And Michael, great day for football, huh?
Yeah, so third time we had this bowl game. Been to the last one last year, and it was real good fun. What's real good about these kind of all-star games is that there's something to play for. You know, I got players from here are trying to earn scholarships or trying to get some game film on them where college coaches can watch them to further themselves and get a degree. You know, it's not like the Pro Bowl where people are just in there to cash a check or enjoy the hot sun. You know, there's kids here that actually want to play well and they want to do good and they want to impress everyone.
You know, I'm excited for different reasons. First of all, I want to see the KIF players, from Kauai High School, Kapa'a, Waimea do really well. But I'm also excited to see some of the guys that we get to see only on TV, like Chalin Fa'amatau of Farrington. I'm dying to see him play because he's a tremendous athlete, and just see the best players in the state compete in a game altogether.
Yeah, you mentioned Fa'amatau. Not only is he a great player, but he's even a greater person. Some of the players on this black squad, the receivers, most of them are the top receivers in the state. You got guys like Ryan Ramones, Jamin Sorono, whoever's out there throwing passes towards them, they're going to have a field day out there. Yeah, and you mentioned the KIF players. I think the KIF gets a bad rap for just playing two schools the whole season, but they've shown that they can compete on the Division II level. I know a couple years ago when Kauai beat Iolani, ended their streak, and they went on to give Kaiser a good game. Then Kapa'a these past couple years have done really well, and even the Waimea, they did really good against Kapa'a and Kauai during the season, and they were pretty good in non-league play.
I know, I talked to a couple of the parents of some of the players in today's game, and I told them that this is a big day for them, especially, I talked to Cody Taniguchi's coach at Waimea, and I said it's a big day. Then, one of the quarterbacks, Kekai Nalu Simon, talked to his dad, and it's a big day for these kids because, if you haven't already decided where you're going to go, this is a day that can really dictate your future over the next, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think the first year they had 90 players, and out of those 90 players, at least 47 of them were playing college ball the next season. So, if you really want to further your education, further your life, there's a ways to do it, and this game is a perfect example for this.
And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the breakdown of the players from each school, and we've got a lot of kids from Kauai in this game. And it's always good to see. But as you can see, all the breakdown, Kapolei also with 10 kids in this game as well. But just St. Louis also with 10 kids in this game. Of course, state champion St. Louis defeating Kahuku a couple of weekends ago in a great open division matchup.
Yeah, people think that that whole team was Tuatanga Wailoa, but he's just one player. A lot of people on the team had to step up for them to beat Kahuku, and that was no easy task for any of them.
Now, the kids have been here since I believe Thursday, right? And some of the kids told me they've had a great time here on Kauai so far, and just enjoying the whole experience. Some of them have never even been to this island.
Yeah, from what I've known from the past 2 years is that whatever beef they had during the season, playing for opposing teams, over here they just come out here and bond. It's always nice to be able to stay away from home and get that dorming experience. I know senior bowls in the past, they just would practice all week and they don't get to hang out pretty much like that. But I know a couple nights ago they had a banquet, kind of luau out in the tent. So it's really good experience for all the kids out here.
As you can see, Bernard Carvalho, speaking to everybody here in the stadium, but especially the players, and Mayor Bernard Carvalho of Kauai. See, everybody calls him Mayor. I just call him Bernard. But he's a Kapa'a High School grad, went on to the University of Hawaii, and played in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins. So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to preparing for your future.
Yeah, he's one of a lot of the big supporters of this bowl game. I know Nick Solario in the Guardian now quoted him in his story as really wanting to promote this game. So, good for him to for having the first time here at the Life Champions Senior Bowl here in Kauai. Let's kind of talk about the players in this bowl game. You mentioned Challen Fa'amatau, the running back for Farrington, and he was selected as the All-OIA D1 Red Offensive Player of the Year. For his career, he rushed for 3,300 yards and scored 40 rushing touchdowns. And just an amazing player for them.
Like I said, that's one kid I really wanted to see play today because, we see him on TV, and he does. They line him up all over the field. I think the only place they didn't put him was probably center.
Yeah.
But he probably played that position as well. But we're gonna throughout the game. We're gonna feature a few players from both teams, and right now we've got the Fa'amatau. We're also gonna have Kapena Tekshera, who was turned out to be a defensive, or started the season as a defensive only player for Kapa'a, ended up being a two-way player.
Yeah, whenever you talk to Coach Raposo, the one word that he likes to describe Kapena is a soldier, and you see it in the state tournament. He came in at the running back position as a wildcat quarterback and really carried the load for a Kapa'a team that needed some offense to take them to the state championship game.
Also, another player we're going to feature is Jamin Sorono out of Kapolei, 5'10", $185. Another one of the exciting players in this state.
Yeah, he caught 114 passes on the season for 1,120 yards, and believe it or not, he actually missed the the OAA semifinal game against Farrington for some team rule violation, and then you could see the absence that he was definitely missing that game.
We're also gonna feature Sean Borges out of Damien, and I got a good look at him in the semifinals when they came here to Vidina Stadium to play Kapa'a. And I'll tell you what, defensively, he really almost single-handedly controlled that Kapa'a offense that afternoon. They fell behind early, but because of him, the Damien offense was able to rally and come back.
Yeah, he definitely had a big part in helping the Monarchs, kind of make their way back from a 21-0 deficit. He was the ILH Division II Defensive Player of the Year. And, last time he was here, he had 11 tackles, which was the best game he had all year. So expect some big things from him back here on Vidina Stadium.
Well, we're about ready to kick off here at Vidina Stadium. It's going to be, get this, we've got 4 kicker positions ruled by 3 players. And for the black team, it'll be Nolan Gomez kicking off for McKinley, but during the punting chores, it's going to be his teammate Noah Lowe. Then on the right side, we've got Kapa'a's Clifton Alvarez going to do punting and kicking.
Yeah, so interesting storyline there for McKinley. They didn't have the best season, so I'm sure these guys are very thrilled to be here in this bowl game right now.
And I'll tell you what, this stadium has proven to be a pretty good kicking stadium on days like this. At times it can be a beast, but for the most part, on an afternoon like this, it's a very good kicking stadium. So Gomez teeing it up for the black team, 6 foot 180. I'll tell you what, you don't get too many kickers going 6 foot 180. So Black will kick off to lead things off here at Vidina Stadium. The 3rd annual Life Champions Senior Bowl right here on Kauai. Here we go. Here's the kick. Low and short. It'll be taken somewhere about the 10-yard line. That's going to be Owase, who's got it up the middle. He'll take it across the 30 to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. So White will start off offensively. And there's so many kids. They can go in and out on every single play.
Yeah. Check out the first guy that will touch the ball, though, on offense, and that's center Vili Fisiahu out of Kahuku. And I'll tell you what, he's listed as a 5'10", 260-pound senior. But if he was about 5 inches taller, there's no doubt in my mind that he would be having a lot of Division I offers right now.
Starting off at quarterback is going to be Jaron Uru out of Waianae, 6 foot 180. He's going to hand it off, coming to the near side. That's going to be Fa'amatau trying to turn the corner. may have been able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good job defensively by the black to string out that play and force it to the sideline.
Yeah, I know it's just the start of the game, but that's kind of an interesting play call to stretch the field, see this defense if they can bend to what the offense wants to do. You know, I would try and run up the middle behind guys like Billy Fisiahi, but we'll see if they'll set up some play action or a jet sweep.
I know one thing. I saw Fa'amata on TV all year. As much as he touched the ball, I still didn't think he touched it enough. So once again, they'll go shotgun for the white. They hand it off straight up the middle. That's going to be number 43. That's TJ Tautolo out of Farrington. 6 foot 200, goes up the middle. Just shy of the 40-yard line. Gain of about maybe 5-6 yards.
That's a good run to see on your first carry. You know, anytime you can get more than 3 yards on your first run up the middle, that's a good sign for things to come. Tautolo was actually the starting corner for the Governors this season, so I'm sure he's going to enjoy every opportunity he gets running the ball.
Just odd to see a Waianae quarterback hand it off to a Kahuku running back. Ului shotgun again. They'll go a receiver and a slot on each side. Black creeping up to the line of scrimmage. And they fake the handoff. He's going to throw it. Ulu's goes over the middle, incomplete as he overthrows Oase from St. Louis. Not a big guy, but a very quick guy. 5'5" and a $155.
Yeah, you saw the defense little creep up to the line and go for blitz. I'm told that there's actually a limit on the amount of 6-man blitzes that they can bring per quarter. So, you know, defense wanted to send a message very early on, and they forced a stop, and they got a three and out.
Clifton Oliver to punt it away for the white team. Kapaa Warrior, 5'9", 165, very familiar with this field. He's got a 46-yard field goal on the season, so he's got a leg. Low snap, but he handles it nicely. A decent kick. It'll be taken at the 30-yard line. They trying the far side, and that's going to be Chandler out of St. Louis. And he'll get the ball near the 40-yard line. That's Chandler, Washington, Villanueva.
Yeah, you mentioned Oliver. I don't think he really punted too much, though, for the Warriors this season. But, you know, there could be a college out there that watches his punts and thinks, you know, I want to have him on my team.
Actually, the two punters Kapaa went with this year is in the game. Back at the quarterback, Kurt Napoleon and Oliver. So Black will come out in a receiver slot formation. That's going to be Wahanui. Back to quarterback, goes downfield, and the catch is made at the 35, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Black team. Ryan Ramones, who had a DB draped all over him, and comes down with the football and finds the end zone in Black on the board early.
Great presence there by Wahanui to stand tall in the pocket and have confidence in his receiver to get open downfield. And that DB that was covering him was cornerback Jalen Saole out of St. Louis, and in my opinion, he's one of the top 4 corners in the state. So great job there by Ramones. You know, Ramones actually accounted for at least half of quarterback Alakai Ewan's receiving yardage. So, you know, he, in my opinion, I think he had he could have been the offensive player of the year in the blue division, but, you know, that went to Rico Zardo Waianae.
So that's that touchdown officially 63 yards. Here's the kick by Gomez. It's up there, and it gets over the crossbar for the field goal. I mean, the extra point. And they kick extra points from the 10-yard line here in this game. So quickly, 7-0 Black over the white with 12:59 to go here in the first quarter. I'll tell you what, that was a nice throw by Wahanui. He just kind of dropped it in there. And hit Ramones in stride, and he was able to, I'm sure the defensive back thought he had that ball all the way.
Yeah, you know, whoever's back at quarterback, we mentioned it earlier in the open that whoever's at quarterback for the Black team will have a field day. You got guys like Jamin Sorono, Wyatt Perez, Ramones. You also got receivers Kamakana Ching out of Konowaina, and Oshoshana Piki out of Damien. You know, there's a lot of talent at the receiver position for the Black team. And you got to credit St. Louis quarterbacks coach Vinny Passes for being the sort of the general manager drafting all those talents for them.
Well, I saw Coach Passes on the field earlier in the day, and he was fired up already. So Gomez to kick for McKinley following the 63-yard touchdown. And he puts his foot into it. It's going to be high but short. It's going to be taken at about the 12-yard line. He's at the 20, the 25. That's Jeremy McGoldrick. And he gets it across the 30 to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. Not a bad return.
Yeah, McGoldrick is such a solid player for the Knights. You know, I think the first game I saw him when he was a junior, he caught 4 touchdown passes against Campbell. And, you know, he's like, why is he open? You know, he's just that good where he can slither around out there downfield and find an open hole.
You know, he's got an interesting story, and if you guys saw that on TV, I kind of not fell in love with the kid, but I'm like, he'll go far with what he's been through. Here's the snap. That's Ulu back to throw. Short pass caught by Dalton Mata of Baldwin, and a short pickup, maybe 2-3 yards on the play.
You know, on the surface, it seems like it's just a little short, easy completion, but I think for a guy like Jaron Ulu who runs that wing T offense there for Waianae, you know, you don't get to throw those kind of routes often, so it's nice to see him showing his skills off as a passer rather than a runner in the early going.
They go trips to the near side, shotgun Ulu. Controls the snappy play action over the middle, incomplete. And the intended receiver is Dalton Mata. I think he took his eyes off the ball before he actually secured it.
Yeah, Mata, you know, he's a 5'5", 130 receiver out of Baldwin, and he is a really shifty guy. He does a lot of his damage in the middle of the field. I think on that particular play, I think he should have just gone downfield a little bit more in this team, and he would have he could have had a chance to shake off the DB out there.
Receiver on the side on each side once again. It's like cover 2 defense by the Black. Ulu's back to throw it. Looking over the middle. He's going deep. He's got a man wide open. That's Morgan. He's got it. The 10-5 touchdown for the White. Chyson Morgan of Nanakuli makes the scoring catch. And they're extra point away from tying this one up.
Yeah, Morgan, you know, he was kind of like the Golden Hawks McGoldrick for them this season, you know.
ScoringLive is your source for Hawaii.
He just made plays all over the field. In addition to his 7 receiving touchdowns this year, he rushed for a touchdown, he passed for a touchdown, and he returned the kickoff for a touchdown.
64 yards on that touchdown pass. That goes Ulu to Chyson Morgan. I'll tell you what, we've had 2 touchdown throws. Both throws were absolutely pretty. Perfect passes. Here's Clifton Oliver for the extra point. It's up there, looks good, and it is good. So with 12:08 remaining, we're tied at 7. We're headed to a 100-99 game in this one. A lot of scoring.
Yeah, back on that last touchdown play, you know, it looked like the defense was kind of in either a cover 1 look with the corner sling man or a cover 3 look. Regardless, that just leaves one single high safety, which was Bradford's Jonas Solkai. And, you know, the seams, it's hard to defend the seams when you just got one safety. So what Ulu did, he just read off the safety going on the left side, and he hit Morgan going down the right seam.
I know one thing. He went right down the hash mark and found himself wide open. The toughest thing was probably to catch the ball. And Ulu proving that, you know, Waianae ran the ball a lot this year. They didn't throw it a bunch, but he's proving to people that, yes, he's got an arm and he can throw the ball.
Yeah, he kind of flashed that in the first game of the season against Kamehameha. You know, that was kind of a little slow game, kind of 7-7 game heading to the fourth quarter. But in the fourth quarter, you know, teams just started finding the end zone. And I believe with less than 2 minutes to go, he threw a game-winning touchdown pass down the left sideline to Isaiah Freeney to win the game for the Sea Riders. And that kind of sent a message out there to state that, hey, you know, the Sea Riders, we can't just, if we have to pass the ball when we need to, you know, we can do that.
You know, it's the funky thing is Clifton Oliver does not have his usual tee. He's got this, uses orange cone, like homemade looking tee, and he's using a different one. And he's having a tough time keeping the ball on the tee. Now his teammate, Mana Cooper here, is going to hold the ball for him. And I'm sure Mana said, dude, don't kick my fingers. Here's Clifton Oliver. high and short towards the sideline. It will be taken, number 23, Chandler Washington Villanueva. Steps out of bounds somewhere about the 20. But Oliver is a kid known for getting that ball in the end zone, off, on the kickoffs.
Well, I'm sure that's what he wanted to do, but they also got Stokes Nihipale Botello out there out of Kahuku, who was just a dangerous return man for them, man. You could see in the early going that they don't want to kick to that guy and give up an easy score.
You say that he's dangerous. The thing is, who on this field is not dangerous? They've got there's some college coaches here, or recruiters. They are just drooling at the talent on this field.
For sure, no doubt.
In fact, ran into Kauai High School alum Trey Shimobukuro. He's here. And back to pass. That's Justin Uwahi-Nui. Down the middle. It is caught once again by Ronson Young, and he is going to get into the end zone. Touchdown Black. Another pretty pitch and catch for the touchdown, and I believe that goes 84 yards for the lead for the Black team.
Yeah, we mentioned the receivers, but I think on this particular play, we need to give some credit to the offensive line, which is dominated by a lot of Kapolei players. We got Josiah Haywood, Pono Fatavehi Segovia, Akoni Kapihe, and Dante Kali Holokai. These guys were, if you talk to Coach Darren Hernandez, he really thinks that all these players should have been first team in their league, and right now they're proving why, that they're really impressive.
Gomez for the extra point from McKinley. And I'll tell you what, it looked as if they tried to cover him with a linebacker off the line of scrimmage. It looked as if the linebacker looked away from the quarterback, and Wahinui just zipped it in there, and the catch was made for the score. Here's the extra point. It's up and through the uprights, and it is 14-0. And we've had, just a few minutes of play here. We already got 21 points.
Yeah, I'm sure the defensive coordinators right now aren't too impressed, but take a receiver, man. I think all the college coaches here, if they don't walk away offering at least one receiver, they're going to regret it.
Now, this may turn into an NBA All-Star game. Lots of scoring. So Black will kick off once again. In fact, the Black going from Makai to Mauka. And if you're unfamiliar with this, from the airport to the mountain, and the white will receive and go the other way. See, I come from the Paul Westhead School of Coaching. The heck with defense, let's just throw it every single down. And that's kind of what's happening here. Like I said, 3 touchdowns scored, all of them passing. The shortest touchdown play has been 63 yards. I'm not sure if we're going to see any drive going like 14 plays, 90 yards for the touchdown. We're going to get long touchdown passes like we've seen already.
I think eventually they'll start, giving the running back some love. You got guys like Famatau, TJ Tautolo. You also got a guy from Guam, through Father Duenas High School in Leon Chimuzu. So I think the running backs will get involved once in a while.
Famatau takes it at about the 10-yard line, breaks loose down the hash mark, and he may take it all the way. He's going to be caught from behind at the 5-yard line. And I'll tell you what, that was straight up hustle by Jonas Soakai from Radford, that if he doesn't keep on the play, no way is he going to catch Famatau. But the white team will get it first and goal at the 5-yard line on a nice return by Chalin Famatau.
Yeah, he does it all, I believe when they played Kapolei in the OIA semifinals, he actually threw the game-winning touchdown pass. So, again, if he doesn't walk away with these any scholarship offers from these coaches, I think we should change professions.
I read a short bio of him in the program, and he just flat out said it. He wants to get to the NFL. And so far, what I've seen in the last few years, he definitely has the ability to get there.
Yeah, and you know what? I think right now that he has a lot of untapped potential. I think if you get him into a really good strength and quickness program, he'll improve tenfold, So any college coach that wants him, anybody that wants him, I think he also can get D1 offers if he gets his academics in order.
I think they've got Freedom Alualu of Farrington in the backfield as a fullback. Fa'amatau hit at the 6, driven backwards, tried to spin away from the pressure but they're going to drop him for a loss of about 2 yards on the play. Josh Shirota from Maui High School makes the stop. So it'll be 2nd and 7, 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line for the White.
Yeah, I think Famata actually got left the field kind of a little gimpy out there, so hopefully he'll be fine and we get to see him run some more plays for us.
You know, if you're a KIF fan, this is Kapena Tekshara time right now. Receiver aside on each side, shotgun. Looking left, we're going to throw it into the corner, and the catch is made. Is he in there? Touchdown, White. And we are going to, a 4th touchdown in less than 5 minutes. That's, guess what? That is my cousin, Travis Kaloa from Pac-5, who makes the catch. Goes to the University of Hawaii Lab School. Well, it's a great game already.
Hey, you mentioned that this is because, I remember his older brother, Tyson, was an O-lineman. Fortunately, Tyson ate all of Travis' food, and, Travis was able to play a receiver and leap up for that grab.
In fact, Tyson is here today watching the game. There's the extra point by Oliver. It's up, and it is good. So 4 touchdowns inside of 5 minutes. This is turned into a shootout right here. It's the shortest touchdown play, a 6-yard touchdown pass caught by Travis Kaloa. I'm sure Grandma on Hawaii on Oahu is happy about that one. What a game! There's been games in the KIF. We had a 6-0 game. I think we had a 6-3 game as well. I'll tell you what, people are not used to this much offense on this island.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard's going to get a workout today all season.
No kidding. That's a brand new scoreboard installed in the off season. It's going to definitely get a workout, especially the scoreboard operator.
Yeah, I remember there was one game I was watching or looking at, and it was Waimea Kapa'a, and the score was 3-0 the whole game. So at least for the Kauai fans, maybe they're out here. It's like, oh, this is fun, man.
After this game, the County of Kauai, the Parks Department, may have to replace the scoreboard.
And speaking of high scoring, I see there June Jones on the sideline, getting a couple of handshakes by a couple of coaches down the sideline. So I'm pretty sure this is the type of game that he wants to see, being a pioneer of the run and shoot offense.
And June Jones, the new athletic director at the St. Louis school. Man, he's going to shake things up a bit there. That's going to be interesting. So here's Clifton Oliver to kick it off for the White team. Tied at 14, still early in the first quarter. Oliver from the near hash mark. This one he gets his foot into. This will be taken at about the 5-yard line. That's Jonah Luis Mateo, Pono. Up the middle, he'll get hit at about the 20-yard line. Able to shove that pile out near the 28-yard line. And that's where the Black will take over at 1st and 10. Now, the thing is, I'm happy that a lot of the players came in early, got to experience some of Kauai, because when these kids come in and play a game, most times they come in the day of the game and they either leave the next morning or that night. So some of these guys got to experience the Garden Island.
Yeah, I think we got to give credit to the people who helped make this bowl game happen with Keale and Celeste Poole with their Hawaii Football Club.
Here's Wahi Nui, throws it incomplete, intended for Sorono. Jamin Sorono out of Kapolei, 5'10" and a $185. One of Tonga Vailoa's favorite targets out there. But I don't think he saw that ball coming. It was thrown a little behind him, able to get a hand on it. But that's about it. So I guess Hamuras was crowded last night, huh?
But, I like that it was Waimea boy Cody Taniguchi out there at safety covering that play. I think Sorono little seen Taniguchi come up there a little close, and kind of stopped him from catching the ball cleanly.
Shotgun, and they're going to go with a different quarterback. That is going to be, they give it to Leighton Moniz up the middle. He'll get a couple of yards to the 32-yard line, gain of 4 for Moniz, a dual sport athlete for the Warriors. He'll be suiting up in baseball pretty soon. Saw his parents here earlier. They're happy. Now they're going to stick in Kapa'a quarterback Kurt Napoleon. who started the year at quarterback for the Warriors, then gave way to the junior, Taili Fonua, who led Kapaa into the title game against Lahaina Luna. Napoleon, the left, he's going to throw it. He's got a man open. Throws it a bit high, incomplete for Chandler Washington Villanueva. Almost got his head taken off.
Yeah, Washington Villanueva was a real good outside receiver for the Crusaders. They kind of needed that to help take off some pressure off the slot backs. And I know he's 5'11", but he's not kind of 6 feet, 6'4" or anything like that. So I also want to credit Daniel Nguyen on the coverage. A really small guy for the Bulldogs, but he was a real effective player this season for them, going both ways, playing receiver and corner for them.
Coming into punt for the black team out of McKinley, Noah Lowe, 5'11" and 180. Good snap to Lowe. Takes his time. Low line drive, spiraling kick. It'll bounce at the 30 and is picked up by Jeremy McGoldrick and reverses field. Coming to the near side, he's got a lot of room. He's at the 40. Now the 50 makes the move to the 45, and he will get to the black 44-yard line. Nice return by McGoldrick out of Castle.
Yeah, very exciting run back that time. And when you're watching it firsthand, it doesn't look like he's running that fast. He looks like he's just kind of taking his time, but then you see everyone here trying to chase him, and he's like outrunning them. So great job. He kind of muffed the punt, but he's there to scoop it up, reverse field, and come down to the sideline, break a tackle, and get some extra yards.
McGoldrick, not a big guy, 5'8", $140. Did a lot for the Castle Knights this season. And at quarterback is going to be Kekai Nalu Simon. Talked to his dad earlier. Shotgun, he's going to look to his right. They throw it out there. The catch is made by TJ Tautolo, and he'll lose a couple of yards as they bring him down at the 46-yard line. Justin Fune out of Waimea makes the stop, 5'9", 160. And Fune and Taniguchi made a good combination for Coach Caldera this season.
Yeah, their games, I thought they could have beaten Kapaa a couple of times. If they just had a little bit more offense in them, they could have been representing the KIF in the state tournament.
There's Simon, gets it to number 17, Leon Shimizu. He'll get it back to the line of scrimmage at the 46-yard line, or gain of a yard, excuse me, and that'll bring up third down. That might be the first third down we've seen all day.
I believe they actually punted the first drive, so... But just want to talk about the ball carrier that time, Shimizu out of Faladuenas in Guam. And this bowl game actually has players from both Guam and from American Samoa, a first for Samoan players. Real good thing to see Shimizu out there. I know last year, the only Guam player in the bowl game got hurt on the first drive of the game and had to get ambulance off. So hopefully no one gets hurt this game.
Simon in shotgun. He's got a receiver in a slot on each side. He's going to throw it looking left. And it bounces off of a lineman and into the hand. No, incomplete, as one of the receivers made a diving attempt at it and could not come up with it cleanly. That was an awkward-looking throw. It looked as if he kind of hung on to it and hit his lineman in the shoulder pads. Yeah,
it definitely was batted down at the line of scrimmage by deflected somehow. So you gotta love the effort shown there by the receiver to kind of come back and try and haul it in and make some positive yardage out of it.
Here's Oliver to punt it for the white team. We're tied at 14, 8:26 left in the first quarter here at Vidina Stadium on Kauai. Good snap. Oliver, high spiraling kick. It'll be taken somewhere about the 10-yard line. And coming to the near side, all the way back to his own 5 points to try to get a block. He's at the 10-yard line, gets it out to near the 20. That is going to be, that's number 20, Stokes Nihipali Botello for Kahuku.
Yeah, that run back didn't have that much yards, but you could hear the crowd kind of cheering because they knew that something could happen.
In fact, when I was coming in, he's got a pretty good cheering section. I think at least 10 or 12 people are here to watch him play. Black on offense. They've got trips to the far side. Wahi Nui in shotgun. Wants to throw it, looking to his right. Goes downfield and overthrows his receiver. And that was number 41, Kamakana Ching out of Konawaina. It's a big receiver at 6'3", 180.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Oanu has been throwing bombs the whole game. You know, I kind of want to. It's entertaining and all, but I kind of want to see them, you know, kind of diversify the play calling a little bit. Get him a chance to throw some out routes, throw some to the post, throw a slant, just to show off the types of throws that he can have.
I think nowadays the prototypical quarterback can throw the long ball, but also have good touch on the short passes. Drops the snap, and I believe that's going to be Moniz, and it is. He'll be hit in the backfield, dropped at the 16-yard line, loss of 3. Wayne DeCalio, Kamehameha Schools, Hawaii, makes the tackle, number 44.
Yeah, Banks kind of mishandled the snap a little bit, and he was able to scoop it up and give it to Moniz just to try and make something happen there.
Moniz, who throughout during the season actually made a trip to Arizona for a 1-week baseball camp and showcase, I guess. He missed the game throughout the year, but believe it or not, as good as he is in football, baseball is where his future's at. Here's Napoleon at quarterback. He's looking to his right. Pressure all around him, lets it go, hangs it up there, a little push by the receiver, and there we're going to get the flag, and it's going to be should be offensive pass interference that was intended for, let's see, Kamakana Ching. As he gets along in his football career, he's going to know how to push off so the referees don't see it.
I think actually on that play, I think Ching was trying to prevent an interception there. You know, he was being covered by Pro City cornerback Brody Padilla, who is a 2-time All-OAA first-team selection on the D2 level. So Padilla, one of the top cornerbacks for this this white team. You know, and you know he could have a pick, but you know Ching had to kind of deflect the ball and play some little defense so that there was no turnover.
Today's white hat, or today's referee, Lenny Raposo of the KIF. That's a big thing for the KIF, is none of their officials have officiated ILH and OIA games this season. Here's the punt by Noah Lowe. Low line drive, bounces at the 43. That's taken by Jacob Kabunak, and he reverses his field. He's going to be in a lot of trouble as he will lose yardage all the way back to the Black 39-yard line. And that's a nice play by the special teams for the Black.
Yeah, Kabunak trying to reverse field, but he was looking downfield, but he didn't realize that there was a guy right behind him trying to chase him down.
Jacob Kabunak from Kamehameha Kapalama goes 5'8" and 170. Receiver to start on each side for the white. And I can't see who's that quarterback. That's going to be, looks like Ryan Johnson drops the snap. And he'll be downed at the 33-yard line by Kapaa's Daniel Asotasi, number 31. Asotasi, who teamed up with Manakupa here for the last couple of seasons to put together a pretty good Kapaa defense.
Yeah, I believe they actually have a new center in there, and it's not PCI. It's Hilo's Chandler Kali, so there could be some timing issues here with a new center.
Johnson, the lefty out of Pac 5, makes the throw, caught at the 37-yard line, well short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long. I'm not sure, tough time seeing who made the catch. It's going to be Christopher Amoksang out of Kamehameha. They break the huddle. They'll go receiver slot on each side once again. Shotgun Johnson. Wants to throw it. Being pressured, goes over the middle and overthrows his receiver. That was Tyson Morgan out of Nanakuli. Good defense by the Black. We've got 6 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. We're tied at 14. And remember, within 5 minutes of the start of this game, we've had 4 touchdowns scored, 2 by each team.
Yeah, I think the nerves and the excitement of playing this bowl game has finally settled down. You know, usually as a defender, all you want to do is hit someone early in the early going. But, you know, they have to show proper technique and make sure they're being stable or sound in their football.
High short punt by Oliver, taking it the 36-yard line and returning it to the 45. That's Jamin Sorono out of Kapolei who took that punt. That'll give the black team pretty decent field position. Ball spotted at their own 46. And the way things have gone in this game, anywhere on the field is decent field position. A 63-yard touchdown pass, a 64-yarder, then an 84-yarder.
And you had that long kickoff return by Famatau.
One back, receiver is out on each side. And here's the throw by Wahi Nui, incomplete. And I believe he was looking for Kamakana Ching. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the black team. Just want to throw a shout out to everybody watching us throughout the state of Hawaii and probably on the mainland as well.
Yeah, so one of the real positives about streaming this game is that for NCAA coaches, you know, the Division I type, you know, they're not allowed to be here. I think it's in the calendar, they can't be in communication or in contact with these players, but through a streaming service, you know, they're able to watch it and review some game tape.
I'm pretty sure this is Nainoa Banks makes the throw. It's caught by Kingston Moses Sanchez out of Farrington. Gets it into white territory as they bring him down at the 38-yard line. That'll be a first down. That's a nice throw and a nice catch and run.
Yeah, you know, Moses Sanchez, he didn't really run those comeback routes for the Governors, and here he's able to show good technique. He's able to get off his man and find a little room to run.
Now Kapau's Kurt Napoleon at quarterback for the black. Also played receiver for the Warriors, caught a couple of touchdown passes, one against Lahaina Luna. Stevini Lombard from Kahuku will get the handoff, goes right up the middle, maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, Lombard, he's not actually a guy that you want to give the ball a lot to. You know, he was actually he was an OIA first team fullback on the blue division. So I know the white team had a little eye set that they tried going in, but I want to see them run an eye set with Lombard there at fullback.
Wahinui back in the game at quarterback. Black pretty much going changing quarterback on every play. He's going to throw it, looking to his left. Incomplete. That was intended for Kingston Moses Sanchez, who didn't see the ball come and kept running downfield. It looked as if Wahinui wanted about a 7 and out, and Moses Sanchez was going down the field. So 3rd and 10 for the black offense. Ball at the white 38. And coming on late at quarterback is going to be Nainoa Banks from Waianae. So they break the huddle. They'll go receiver and stop on each side again. White in a cover 2 defense. Oh, excuse me, Banks from Nanakuli. The righty's going to throw it. He's got a man open. A catch is made at about the 25-yard line. And that is Andrew Valadares from Mililani.
Yeah, great grab there by Valadares. You know, he was actually the only starting receiver from a year ago when they had Mackenzie Milton, Vavai Malapiai, Kalakau Timoteo. He was kind of the only skilled player that was on offense that was returning, that was a starter. And, you know, he caught 988 yards. He had 988 receiving yards this season, and I believe he also set the school record in receiving in the OIA quarterfinal game against Waianae with 215.
Here's a handoff up the middle to Lombard. Gets away from one tackler, spins, gets brought down at the 22-yard line, gain of a couple. It should be 3rd and 8. And so far, this is probably the longest sustained drive we've seen by any team.
Well, it kind of helps when they mix it up and run the ball a little bit, but I like it. You know, they're looking for completions. They're not really looking for the home run ball, and it's a good way to show off to these college coaches out there that, hey, you know, we're more than just a Hail Mary type of team or Hail Mary type of player. We can actually go out there and get yards when we need to.
Wahinui back at quarterback, looks left, being chased, looking for some time to throw. The defense starts to come on him, and he throws it out of bounds, incomplete. The intended receiver is Ikaika Andaya of Kalani, 5'7" and 140.
Yeah, give credit to Kapuna Duarte for giving chase on that play. You know, out of Kamehameha Schools Maui, you know, he was a 3-year varsity player, you know, and he's known for being a good run-stopping middle linebacker. So to see him up in the backfield, blitzing and almost getting a sack, you know, it's very impressive to see.
I know one thing. You go to Kamehameha Kapalama, you go to the football field. They may have one of the most incredible views of that football field. Then you go to Kamehameha Maui, and they've got another unbelievable view from that field. There's Johnson. Throws it out there to his right. The catch is made by Ching. Eludes one tackler. He's at the 10-yard line, still on his feet. Now getting pinballed all over the field and gets brought down at the 10-yard line. And that's a nice catch by Ching. And that'll be enough for the first down for the black team.
Yeah, that was actually on Nana Cooley's and Noah Banks on that play. And this year the Golden Hawks, they went into a little triple option flex bone set, which is kind of interesting because Banks was kind of more of a passer for them, and for them they kind of struggled moving up from Division 2 to Division 1, but it's still good to see that Banks can sling the ball when he needs to.
Lombard, the lone back to the left of Napoleon. They play action. They throw it out towards the sideline. The catch is made by looks like Perez. Oh, excuse me, that's number 7. And I'm looking for number 7, and that is Noah Alejandro. Takes it to right about the 1-yard line.
You know what? I'm surprised to see him playing. In the state championship game, or actually in the state semifinal game, he got a groin injury, and that's as descriptive as I'll get. But he was kind of out for that championship game. He was in crutches, and he looked like he could barely walk. To see him here catching passes, running a little out route in the flat, he must have good recovery genes.
They got a back on each side of Wahinui. They're going to give it to Sorono. Sorono gets away from one tackler, tries to reverse his field, and goes the wrong way. They bring him down at about maybe the 11 or 12-yard line. A tackle made by Alani Malafu from Maui High School. And that's just nothing but a playmaker trying to make a play in Sorono.
Yeah, where he would have got stopped initially would have been not as bad in the loss for the yardage.
So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line after a 15-yard loss. 2:10 to go here in the first quarter, tied at 14. Wahinui in at quarterback. Got a touchdown pass in this one. Wants to throw it again. Looking left. He's going to lob it into the end zone. He's got a man there. The catch is made by Washington Villanueva. Touchdown for the black team. A 16-yard strike. Nice throw and a nice catch.
It was definitely a nice play call, too, with the ball lined up on the right hash. You have room as an outside receiver on the left side to kind of find your space and get under the ball thrown there by Wahinui. And, I think this is probably the most targets that Washington Villanueva has seen in a game, in that spread offense for St. Louis, which is relies so heavily on the slot. So, happy to see him getting some touches and getting some targets and, making a play.
Here's Nolan Gomez from McKinley for the extra point. The kick is up, and it looks good, and it is good. So with $1:56 to go here in the first, it is 21-14, the black team. And we've had a ton of offense here in just the first quarter alone. However, the first quarter is 15 minutes. So we're still for, like we said earlier, that scoreboard is going to get a good workout this afternoon.
I think we're going to have to dig into some of the archives to see what was the highest scoring game here in the stadium.
I believe quite a few years ago when I think Kelly Morgado was coaching at Kauai High School, I think they got a game into the 70s. I think they had a KIF game that got into the 70s back then.
Now, was it a combined score of 70 or teams were scoring 70?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 71-3. I think that was the score.
Well, so, at this rate, they're going to hit 71 no problem.
Oh, over under in this one might be like 110. Easy. Gomez to kick off for the black team. He's got the wind at his back, which is fairly unusual for this stadium. High and short. It'll be taken somewhere at the 14-yard line and waiting for blocking, trying to get outside, and he'll get it to about the 30-yard line. And that is number 38 for the white team. And it's Andrew Kalfusi. And we got a penalty flag on the play. Or is that just a towel? That's a penalty flag. That could be the world's biggest penalty flag right there.
Yeah, going back on the run back there by Kalfusi, you know, he's listed as a safety on the roster, but he did it all for the Kaiser Cougars this season. You know, he played middle linebacker, free safety, quarterback, receiver. He had kicking and punting duties, and he was also a kick returner. First-year coach for the Cougars this season, Arno Martinez. You know, he said he has a great character. He's a great person. You know, and he maintains a 3.85 GPA with advanced placement courses, and he's also the student body president. So definitely the model student athlete here in this game.
Penalty on the kickoff puts the ball at the 14-yard line. And here's the throw. Looks like Johnson. The catch is made, taken out to the 25-yard line, and making the catch for the white team is number 15, Lucas Kuipers from Hilo High. And that might be one of the all-time traditional high schools in this state, Hilo High School. Receiver in a solid need side, Johnson in shotgun. They're going to hand it off straight up the middle. And that's going to be Fa'am Matao, who gets a couple of yards on the play, making it 2nd and 8 as he takes it to about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, and that play is actually tracked down by defensive end Mosese Falemi out of Lahaina Luna. And for a defensive end to track down a guy that went up the middle, that shows the kind of player that he is.
I think that Lahaina Luna defense this season proved that they've got a lot of players on that D. Inside of a minute here at Vidina Stadium, 2nd and 8 for the white team. 21-14 is the score. And here's the pass. It's taken by, that's going to be number 43, TJ Taulolo out of Farrington. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, making it 3rd and 8.
Yeah, so on that last play, guess who made a tackle again? Mosese Falemi coming all the way from the right defensive end spot on a flare pass to the right side of the offense formation just to make the stop in the backfield.
Now for some of the D2 players here, not too often you're going to see a guy from the defense come from the right side, come all the way over towards near the sideline and make the play. Here's Johnson at quarterback. Looks like they're going to wait till the quarter comes to an end, and they will. So the first quarter will come to an end, and we're going to go ahead and take a break. It's the Life Champion Senior Bowl on Scoring Live. Got a nice crowd here at Vidina Stadium for the 3rd annual Life Champion Senior Bowl. It's 21-14. And here's Johnson back to pass. And throws it low and inside. And I believe that was Kai Segundo, the intended receiver, out of Kamehameha Maui. 5'10" and a $185.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting that they actually kind of waited for the quarter to come to the end. You know, usually when you got some momentum in offense, you want to keep going as fast as you can and get as much snaps in.
So Clifton Oliver now punting with the wind to his back at his own 25-yard line. Speaking of that. So 4th and 8. Just the start of the second quarter. Oliver hits a pretty good one and kicks it over the heads of both returnmen. Takes a great right roll inside the 5. And that's number 1, Sorono with the football, and crosses the 5, gets spun around. Forward progress should be about the 6-yard line, and a great punt by Clifton Oliver.
You know, normally I would just let that roll into the end zone or let some guy down it, but you know, Sorono, he didn't really get a chance to get some punt return duty, so I'm pretty sure he was anxious in that time to make a play.
So Black will take over at the 6-yard line, 1st and 10.
And I believe that was a 60-yard punt there by Oliver. You know, early in the early going, seems like he was kind of having some difficulty trying to find his leg strength. But here, he boots it for 60 yards, and I'm sure it caught both returners by surprise.
Nainoa Banks out of Nanakuli in shotgun for the black team. And play action, going to throw it out there. And the catch is made by Sean Apiki out of Damien, number 48. And Apiki is a pretty good-sized kid at 6'4", 230. Had a touchdown catch in the semifinal game against Kapa'a here at Vidina Stadium.
Yeah, and that play was kind of an interesting way to use Apiki, for the Monarchs this season. He was usually utilized as a tight end or as an outside receiver to get some to win some jump ball situations. So putting him in a slot is interesting to see.
Napoleon hands it off straight up the middle. That's number 22, Pono Luis Mateo out of St. Francis. A tackle made by Tevita Otuvaka out of teammate versus teammate there.
Yeah, interesting storyline. I remember in the Pro Bowl when they started doing a draft and didn't, it was unconference. It was interesting because there was a big storyline where, players against players, are they actually going to hit their own players? And they did. Here in this play, Otuvaka drops Luis Mateo for a loss. And one thing about Otuvaka is that he only knows one speed. He has to go to all out. Because I've seen some of their practices in the start of the season, and their offense couldn't really do much.
Wahinui gets his arm hit as he makes the throw. It luckily goes incomplete. Once again, it's Otuvaka coming in to make the play from St. Francis. St. Francis came here to Kauai in the preseason, and they really made a lickings on Kauai High School. And I think that game really put St. Francis on the track where they almost got into the state championship tournament.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure St. Francis coach, second-year coach Kip McConnell will be the first to tell you that they should have been in the state championship game. I believe they had a 2-score lead on Damien in the ILH championship game, but they lose their starting quarterback and their starting running back on the same play in the first half. And that's something that's hard to bounce back for any team.
Here's the punt by Lowe, and he shanks it. And kind of looked like my 6-iron. Bounces at the 26-yard line, and the White will have great field position with 13:08 to go here in the second quarter. So White takes over. Best starting field position outside of the long return by Matao. Best starting field position for any offense coming off of fourth down.
Yeah, I'm sure they kind of like that where they're starting. If you look compared to these offense, you would probably say that the black team is doing the better of the two offenses. But here they have good field position, down a touchdown. Let's see if they can cash in on this.
Here's Ulu in that quarterback for the white team. He's going to play action. They throw it out to Oase, and he gets it inside the 25 to about the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of a couple of yards, second and long.
Yeah, Oase, slot receiver out of St. Louis. And if you're a slot for St. Louis, it's hard to get on the field. It's loaded up at the position, and you kind of have to show up. It could be Ronson Young one weekend. It could be Oase. It just whoever is out there, whoever is available for St. Louis.
I know St. Louis has produced a lot of great quarterbacks. They've also produced a lot of great receivers and slots. Ulu is shotgun. He's going to hand it off. This time it's going to be 43 Tautolo, and that was a crunching block on that short run. And if the field mic was any closer, you could hear the entire stadium go, ooh. So it'll be third and 4. Ball spotted right at the 19-yard line of the black team. So they spread everybody out. Black team looks like in a cover 2 defense. Shotgun Ulu. And he's going to hand it off to Shimizu. He goes right at the middle. He gets hit at the 15 and drop and push backwards. That's going to be right at the first down marker. That's going to be Gage Quinabo Reyes from Kalani who makes a stop. That's going to be just enough for the first down. So first down for the white team. Ball right at the 15. 12:35 to go here in the first half. They'll break the huddle, sending a receiver and a slot on each side. And we're seeing either trips to one side or receiver slot just about every snap. Ulu drops straight back. Looks like a screenplay in the middle. Fa'amatau with it. Gets it to about the 12-yard line, gain of 3. That's going to be about 2nd and 7 for the white team.
I like it. Fa'amatau was also a great pass catcher for the Governors. People think he can just run the ball, but he was actually a pretty versatile kid for the Governors throughout his career. On his career, he has 78 receptions for 954 yards and 12 touchdowns. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing him in the slot.
Now, I wouldn't consider him a big receiver, but he's a kid. Like, if he goes to the next level, where do you put him? He's so talented. Ulu's going to hand it off. That's Fa'amatau. That's number 43, Tautolo, who gets upended and spun around, and he takes it inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
I believe that was the first time that we've seen them come out of, in any team, come out of shotgun formation with two fullbacks there, two running backs there. And, you got to give credit to Fa'amatau for laying it on the line and giving a block to kind of give Tautolo some room to run. And on the tackle there was cornerback Adam Burge out of Kapolei. And if you talk to Darren Hernandez, he describes Berg as a hard-hitting corner that teams avoid throwing to.
Coming into this game, I kind of wonder, are we going to get a Pro Bowl type All-Star game, or are we going to get kids playing right there? That proved they came to play. Ulu with it, hands it off to Fa'amatau, tries to make a move at the 10 and cannot get away. It's going to be Kapaa's Daniel Asotasi who makes a stop at the 9-yard line. That's going to be a loss of a play on the play for the white. And Asotasi, if you look at it the last couple of years for Kapaa, they had Fifita last season, Kupa here this season. He's kind of the unsung hero of that Warrior defense.
Yeah, from all accounts when you hear about him, he's just a guy that has a lot of, he's very animated, and, very willing to make plays, and, he's a guy, if he gets involved going early on, that just resonates with the whole team.
4th and 4 from the 9-yard line. The white is going to go for it. Lone back, that's Fa'amatau. They're going to throw it into the end zone, overthrows everybody, incomplete, and the black will get the ball on downs. 1st and 10. That was intended for Jacob Kabanak. So the black team gets the ball. 9:52 to go here in the first half. Nice to see the whole entire office of Scoring Live here on Kauai. The whole crew is here.
No, this is not all of us.
There's not everybody?
There's more of us. There's only so much room on the plane, Maybe if the Super Ferry is back in business.
I asked about the equipment, if you guys have to ship YB. They said, no, we've got on the airplane. There's the throw by Wahi caught and taken out of bounds near the 10-yard line, and that is going to be Washington Villanueva who makes the catch. Gain of a yard on the play, short completion, 2nd and 9. So 9:26 to go here in the first half.
As the black team huddles for bear, I think it'd be a good time to kind of highlight some of these players' hopes and dreams. And for Washington Villanueva, he hopes to be a diagnostic medical sonographer. So,
what? No, that sounds like a lot of schooling involved. There's the catch made by Ramones. Takes it across the 10, out near the 12-yard line. And it looks like number 94, Freedom Alu from Farrington, makes the play for the white defense.
Yeah, I think Oahu is really pressured on that play. He kind of had to get that away from a hurry, and I don't think he threw it to a spot that he entirely wanted to. It looked like Ramones kind of had to adjust to the ball. But, got to give credit to this white defense. I believe the general manager for that team was Reggie Torres, and, he was a former Kahuku coach that won them or helped them win a couple of state titles. He's coaching offensive line here now for Punahou.
Banks in shotgun for the black offense. Gets a snap looking to his right. He's going to throw it out there. And looks like the catch is made by Ramones. No, incomplete. Had he hung on to it, that would have been enough for the first down. Instead, it's going to bring up fourth down for the black team, and that will bring in Noah Lowe of McKinley. A little low and outside on that incomplete pass. It's like Fa'amatau along with Kabunak back deep to receive the punt. In fact, they're going to bring in another punter for the black team. That looked like number 46. Unalotu Pahulu of Lahaina Luna. I should correctly say Division II state champion Lahaina Luna. Not a bad kick. Fair catch called for by Fa'amatau at the 40-yard line. And once again, the white team will get good field position to start their offense.
Yeah, for the Lunas this season, Pahulu is actually the team's starting punter. And in that state championship game, you know, there's one play where he kind of took the play and he just took it up the middle, and that kind of gave, you know, gotta give credit to his instincts, and he almost made the first down, which would have probably extended the drive and make it harder for Kapala to get him back in the game. But no, he's been punting for a while, so I think he wanted to give Noah Lowe a little rest there.
Ulu in shotgun for the white team. 8:05 left in the first half. He's going to throw it. Now he's being pressured. Somebody grabs his undershirt, able to get it out back to the line of scrimmage. And I believe that's number 55 who brings him down. And number 55 was Kalai Asing from IAEA.
Yeah, I think Asing was the one that officially gets credit with the tackle, but you got to give credit to Frankton's D-tackle Tainano Gaulua, who was kind of pulling on that shirt of Ulu.
So Ulu in shotgun. Four-man front for the black team. And they go draw play right up the middle. And I was given to Leon Shimizu. He goes 5'11", 175. He'll get about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Nice pickup on that draw play.
Yeah, I think so far in this game, he's been averaging at least 4 yards a carry. And if you look at Shimizu, you know, he looks very unassuming. If you look at it, his shoulders, his arms, he doesn't look like he has much on his frame. But, you know, shifty guy, you know, able to find some room in the middle of the defense.
So this time they'll go triple receivers set to the near side. That's Fa'amatau in the backfield to the right of Ulu. And he'll give it to him on a little delay handoff, and he'll be thrown for a loss of about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. And outside of that return by Fa'amatau, we really haven't seen him get his legs, you know, loose and get going like we've seen throughout the year.
Well, whenever he's in the game, you know, they're putting 6 guys at the line of scrimmage trying to slow him down, and that was kind of the case for him this season. You know, he was kind of really much the only guy in offense that was consistent and could take it the distance. You know, I believe in the regular season games against Kapolei, he had 40 carries, and you know, that's not something you want to give to your star running back all the time.
Low snap, Ulu picks it up. Being pressured, throws the ball out to his left. The catch is made near the 30-yard line. And that was Christopher Amoksang out of Kamehameha who makes the catch for the white team. And looks like he's right at the first down marker. And yes, they're going to give it to him. Christmas comes early.
Speaking of Christmas, they actually the Kamehameha, you know, the Kamehameha boys team actually has a freshman guard named Christmas, and he did work against Farrington earlier this week. If you want to see more on that game, you can read reporter Kalani Takase's coverage on that.
Trips to the far side, inside of 6 minutes here in the first half, and play action. Ulu's going to throw it out there, almost picked off, and that was Stokes Nihipali Botello. And Ekaruku defense throughout the whole year had a lot of scores on that side of the ball, and we almost saw one there.
Hey, if Botello was maybe 2 inches taller and that ball was a little bit, maybe 5 inches to the left, that would have been a pick 6.
5:35 remaining in the first half. It'll be 2nd and 10, ball at the 30 of the black. Ulu will hand it off to Matao, goes straight up the middle, and maybe have got back to the line of scrimmage. No, they're going to say a loss of a yard. They'll put the ball down at the 31. And I'll tell you what, they're making sure that there are at least 3, even 4 tacklers around him once he gets his hands on that football.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I kind of want to see him in the slot, free up some space, give him some space to work in the seams, get open, and make a man miss in the open field. And he could take it for a touchdown, which he almost did on the kickoff.
So Ulu in shotgun. This time the running back is going to be Tautolo. Trips far side. Looks like the black one come with some heat, and they do. Ulu gets away from the pressure. He's got a lot of room if he wants to run. Gets a good block. Oh, he has got room for the first down. Gets away from one tackler. The 15 hit from behind and driven to the 10-yard line. 21-yard pickup on 3rd and 11. That'll be a first down for the White. I'm not sure who got him from behind, but that was a touchdown-saving tackle. Once he got away from pressure, he had a lot of green in front of him.
Yeah, I believe that was Gage Kunabo Reyes out of Kalani making that stop. And you see here him coming out the field and talking to first-year head coach for the Falcons, Scott Melamai. He believed that he could have been a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year in the league. So he heart of the defense. He had 37 tackles on the season. Credit him for the touchdown-saving tackle.
First and goal, ball right at the 10-yard line. Clock moving, we're at 4:10 left. There's a fumble on the play. Bad quarterback-center exchange, and it looks like the black team came up with it, and they do. That is number 61 who came up with it. Excuse me, number 51, Tainano Gaulua out of Farrington. The right guy in the right spot. And that's one of the things in games like these. That's the quarterback center exchange and quarterback running back exchange, probably the 2 most difficult things because the chemistry just not there in a short week of practice.
Yeah, and I'm sure with the formations that they've been coming out, that they've been mostly running shotgun sets throughout the entire week. So especially trying to go under center for the first time in the game could lead to some turnovers like that.
There's Kurt Napoleon in that quarterback for the black team. Hands off. And no, Napoleon's going to keep it as he takes it near the 20. And Kurt Napoleon with a nice pickup. 7, maybe 8 yards of play. Now, Napoleon, for a kind of tall, lanky kid, he is a very good athlete. In fact, was once a pitcher on the Warrior baseball team.
Yeah, and he played receiver down the stretch for the Warriors this season. So, I think on the NFL level, you see former college quarterbacks transition to receivers. So I'm not too sure if Napoleon would want to play receiver, but that's an option if they can get him a scholarship somewhere.
So it's Banks at quarterback for the black. Receiver in a slot on either side. He's going to throw it. Looking to his right. He's got a man wide open. That's Ching who makes the catch. Gets it out to the 30 and the 32. And he's got 2 white guys that pick him up and body slam him. However, that's going to be more than enough for the black team first down. And Ching is a guy, I'm sure he thought that he and the rest of his Wildcat teammates was probably wanted to be in that D2 final. And that's a team, Coach Raposo for Kapana and I, Kona Wino is one of the teams we talked about all season long, them and Damien. Trips far side. And that's Wahinui at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Luis Mateo going the wrong way. He's at the 20, uses the referee as a screen, gets it across the 20 as we get a penalty flag. And Luis Mateo brought down to the 21-yard line. That's going to be a loss of about 9 yards. We'll check on the penalty.
Yeah, great running there by Luis Mateo. I seen the referee too, and was wondering if he was going to move out of the way, but wisely goes around him to set a block.
I'll bet you we couldn't hear it, but I'm sure Luis Mateo was yelling at the official to give him a block. But yeah, he. That's one of those penalties you kind of expect when a running back reverses his field several times.
Yeah. So I know in the OIA and during the state tournament, they've been making a point. At least for the coaches, they like it when the official calls out who is charged for the penalty. Not too sure who is responsible for that penalty on that time, but I'll be kind to the players and say it was the official on that blocking the back penalty.
First and half a mile for the first down. Luis Mateo with it, trying the far side. If he turns the corner, he's got something, but cannot turn the corner. He'll get a few yards on the play. In fact, maybe the line of scrimmage. White defense doing a good job just forcing that play towards the sideline, getting Luis Mateo to come back towards the middle of the field where the pressure was. So 2:44 left in the first half. And they'll come out in a receiver slots formation. Banks at quarterback for the black team. Gets the snap, looks left, and the catch is made. I believe that's Ramones. Excuse me, no, that's Kingston Moses Sanchez out of Farrington. Spins his way out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And that's going to make it a little bit more manageable. It's still about 3rd and maybe 20. 3rd and 21.
Yeah, look for a seam route here on this play. That they have found some success with that play in the early going of this contest. So wisely, the white team defense has 2 safeties back there to make sure that everything's covered.
The NFL at this down and distance normally you see a little screen play, but they've got trips to the near side. Wahinui in at quarterback, and they're going to throw the ball. Looking over the middle, he's got pressure. He gets hit, and they are going to bring him down at the 15-yard line, and that was number 79, Supilani Maile out of St. Francis.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard some clapping on the crowd mic, but I'm pretty sure his dad, Tavita Maile, is cheering for him in that sack. Maile, he was a guy that commanded double teams every single play. Talking to Coach Eddie Kloneska, Damien, asking him, who's some of the players on defense for the Saints that you think should be deserving of an all-star recognition. And no doubt he mentioned Supilani Maile. He's also a basketball player, first team All Hawaii Division II last season, and if I'm not mistaken, he was also the basketball player of the year for the ILH in Division II earlier in this year. So great athlete. He's just such a humble giant. If you look at him, he looks like he's gonna eat you, but you talk to him, he's just a giant teddy bear. So great kid. Nice to talk to.
There's a lot of kids like that. Before the game, I got to talk to a few of the kids, and they're all really nice, big teddy bears. I mean, they're kids. 17, 18, 18-year-old kids. They're just out here having fun playing football. 4th and 26. Ball spotted at the 16. 124 remaining. The white coming out of the white team's timeout, trying to save some time and possibly get into the end zone. So here's Pahulu to punt it for Lahaina, for the black team out of Lahaina Luna. Good snap, moves to his right. A spiraling kick that'll drive. Looks like Kabunak all the way back to the 40-yard line. And that's going to be a nice play made at the 42-yard line. And I think that was, looks like Borges, I guess. He got up kind of quick if I could get the number. So White with it 1st and 10. Ball at the 43-yard line. 1:14 left in the first half. And let's see, looks like the black team are going to drop a safety about 12, 13 yards off the line of scrimmage. Here's Simon back to throw. He is going to be sacked all the way back to the 34-yard line by Iolani's Cameron Chang.
Yeah, the Raiders this season, they were kind of benefited with that whole 3 tiers in the state tournament. Cameron Chang, he was a first-team Allies Division I defensive lineman, so it's not like they don't have talent. You know, they're able to compete. They made it to the championship game. You know, beating Moanalo and Campbell to get there. So you know, they definitely can play.
They will draw play up the middle, follow Matao with it, trying the far side, gets it to the 40, maybe the 41 before he steps out of bounds. And that's going to make a more manageable third down play for the White offense. But getting back to Iolani, that is just, every time, I mean, the KIF has had the unlucky benefit of going to that stadium way too often for semifinal games, but just impressed with that program overall.
Yeah, you know, people complain about them in Division II and you know, winning all those championships, but you know, it just comes down to coaching, and Coach Wendell Look does him and his staff do a great job in game planning.
There's Simon's pass is incomplete, and I believe that was Kame Kim Choi Kebalo from IAEA. But getting back to Iolani, I never thought they should have been moved to Division I. I just thought that they were just the class of Division II, and people had to catch up to them. That's what I've always felt that.
No, I kind of feel that way too. You know, I think Division I think there's been a kind of a shift where Division I is kind of inflated or overinflated with teams that should be in Division II. You know, you have teams like a Castle or an IAEA. You know, and I think if Iolani was in D2, I think you know. The teams right now would give them a good rub. You know, Konawaina, Lahaina, Luna Kapa. I think they can compete with them now.
Oliver's punt bounces out of bounds, somewhere about the 26, 27 yard line. You know, getting to that, I always thought that they should have expanded Division II and shrunk Division I a little, and I think it would have been as competitive as ever. I thought so.
Yeah, you know, with 5 leagues in the Division II tournament, with just 6 spots, I think, you know, they should be deserving to get 8 spots in there.
So 23.9 seconds to go here in the first half. It's first and 10 at the 27 of the Black. Napoleon from Kapaa in a quarterback. Lombard, the lone running back, to the right of Napoleon. And they are going to give it to him. Tries the outside, gets past one tackler, spins away, and will be shoved out of bounds about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. I mean, that is just a big boy running that football, let me tell you. So that'll take us to halftime here at Vidina Stadium. As the halftime... Well, see, come on, we don't know what that thing is called, but we'll call it a buzzer anyway. Or that crazy sound. As both teams will take it to locker rooms, well, actually, they'll probably stay on the field. It's a lot cooler. And, you know, take care of business during halftime. So it's going to take our halftime break. It's the Life Champions Senior Bowl, the 3rd annual, on ScoringLive.com.
Great job, great job. All right, so everybody get your tickets out. We're gonna do a lucky number now for 2 round trips to Maui, Oahu, and of course Hawaii on Island Air. And Kona, that's right. Soon to be Hilo. So get your numbers out. Number 3858069. 3858069. Red ticket. If that is you, please come on down. Micah, he said he's going to give him back. We're going out his number. Micah, congratulations, Micah. By the way, how about them Cowboys? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our kicker and punter showcase. Each kicker will compete for accuracy and length. We have Nolan Gomez from McKinley and Clifton Oliver from Kapaa. Nolan, you are up. They got 4 tries. It's good. Gomez won.
At halftime here at the Life Champions Senior Bowl, we've got a kicking challenge. We've got Nolan Gomez from McKinley for the black team. Here's Clifton Oliver for the white team from Kapaa.
We're tied at 1.
And it's 1 each right now. And all I know, these 2 guys are lucky. The girl kicker from Kauai High School doesn't show up. She's got a leg. She can kick the ball.
Yeah, I think.
Is this like horse?
No, I think they're just kind of showing off where they can kick from, because you know, in a game like this, you don't have a chance to kick much field goals. So last year they kind of did this kicking thing where they had Kiko Sasooka out there, and then we kicker out of Hawaii Prep to kind of show off the leg. Otherwise, an opportunity where they wouldn't get in the institution like this.
Okay, that one was no good by Gomez. Now, once I was at the Kapaa practice and I was horsing around with Clifton, and I said, we're about the 30-yard line. I said, dude, and we're on the sideline. I said, can you hook it in from here? He goes, probably. I go, well, let's see it. And Oliver sticks this one from the right hash mark from the 20-yard line.
We're going to go for the
But I seen him hook a ball in from the near sideline between the uprights. So it'd be cool, like, you know, remember Jordan and Larry Bird? Let's go off the light post, off the ticket booth on the visitor side, off the rubbish-making tree, and through the uprights. That's what we want to see. Or how about off the chicken's head, off the 20-yard line marker? Good.
I think I want to see that, you know, chicken head, moving target. You don't get much opportunities with that. So you can get a kick it off the chicken's head, a moving target. And I think you should be in the NFL already.
That was low by Gomez, no good. Now they're playing horse style. You know, Clifton Oliver can go up a HO. And here's one. That looks good, and it is good. That's true. Most of our kickers won't even have the opportunity to kick one off the chicken's head. On this island, you go anywhere on this island, you can kick one off the chicken's head.
Yeah, I think during the game, there's some chickens that come out on midfield at one time.
Oh, there's a family. The black chickens live out there on the far side, on the airport side, the far end zone.
So I want to see them make an impact in this game. The Lihue chickens, you know, get them represented here in this bowl game.
Now this one's going to be a 50-yarder from the near hash mark. Gomez was short on the last two. Let's see if he's got enough leg for this one. I know Oliver can make it from 50. That's short by a few yards. In fact, I think they attempted a 51-yarder in the second to last game of the season. So Oliver from the near hash mark, from the 40. So make it a 50-yarder. Clifton Oliver, no good, wide right. That's a Scott Norwood. And Clifton Oliver, his last name, his favorite NFL team, the LA Rams. How's this? Clifton Oliver, his favorite team is the Rams. So you would assume that his favorite Rams player would be Zerline, but no, he's a Todd Gurley fan.
To see if they can get it as close to that trash can as
You know, my favorite LA Rams
If they
player
get
is
it
actually
in,
Johnny Hecker, the
It's not going to
punter.
happen, but hey, if it gets in, it's a win.
So
Our first punter.
let's see here. What we got? What are we looking at? So now I think they're gonna try and kick one into a rubbish can if I heard correctly. I mean the punters. And it's located at the goal line, right near the pylon on the near side. Now this is interesting. I'd rather take out my gap wedge or my sand wedge. Oh, that's got a shot. And no, that's gonna fall short. Just want to mention some of the people that's made this game possible right after this punt. And that's going to be short as well. The County of Kauai,
All right, leave it.
Mayor Bernard Carvalho, Lenny Raposo, the Park and Recs Department leader. That's high and way off target. Also, Motivate Foundation. Let's see, Wa'alani Enterprises, head by Ricky. R&L Ohana, the Island Shoppers, also Matson. And we're going to say hi to that guy a little bit later. The Marriott Courtyard Kauai, Island Air, Sean Laval, Farrington, and also the Washington Redskins, Tyson Alualu, St. Louis grad, current Jaguar, and Marcus Mariota, St. Louis and the Tennessee Titans. In fact, I've got a friend who saw Marcus play in Tennessee, and he's got me an autographed jersey. Also, our other sponsors, Kioya Hotels and Resorts, Kellogg's. Well, of Kellogg's, what is your favorite? It's got to be Frosted
Here we
Flakes.
go. Last one.
Pepsi, Sportsline out of Hilo, the Johnson Brothers of Hawaii. Here's another punt. In fact, that was Noah Lowe. We've also got the Johnson Brothers of Hawaii, Big Island Toyota, Uncle's Kitchen. Well, now, guys, that's some good grinds, okay? Uncle's Kitchen. If you guys get the chance to get out to the west side, tell them I sent you. No, don't do that. They may kick you guys out. Ono Family Restaurant, and, of course, Metagold. All of these people made this possible. Also, mahalo to Ainofia Productions. Freddie Leventhal. Now, how does Uncle Freddie get his name mentioned on this broadcast?
No, he must be.
He's everywhere.
Some great work here to help this game be here at the stadium.
Actually, I'll tell you what Freddie Leventhal's contribution is to this game. The water cooler, it's actually his invention, and he's trying to get a patent for it. And I'm not sure if it's one of the cooler companies has paid him quite a bit of money to help develop that for them. So that's Freddie Leventhal's contribution. And in fact, I had lunch with Freddie Leventhal a few days ago. And if you guys ever get to hang out with him, he's a character. You guys got to talk story with him.
You guys go out to that place on the west side?
No, we went to. We were kind of struggling for lunch, so we went into a place here in Lihue called Smiley's. So, but yeah, Freddie Leventhal, he's a Steeler fan. Just to let you guys know. But both teams on the field stretching out before the start of the second half. 21-14. The black leading the white. And once again, this game highlighting the best football talent in the state. Right here at Vidina Stadium, and I'm not going to, I just for myself want to say I'm just honored to see all these great players at this stadium. I know one thing, man. You guys put out a pretty good program here, and for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, but if you want the best information on high school sports, Scoring Live is where you go. There's no question about it. But we should get going here in the second half soon.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that we got a lot of the great athletes from the state of Hawaii here in this bowl game. But not only are they a great athlete, but they're also great students. Students comes first. And you talk about student athletes. So, in order to be in this game, you must have a minimum 2.5 GPA. You must have taken or scheduled to take your SAT or ACT. You also have to be referred by your head coach, which means you have to be a good player and coachable. You must get a referral referred to this game by administrator, would be a principal, vice principal, AD, or counselor. And you also got to do a minimum of 8 hours of community service. And you must do a lot of these things. So it's not just the best athletes, but the best students out there in this bowl game, man. Most of these kids out here are trying to get a scholarship to further their education and further their life, probably to give back to their parents' hard work.
So we are going to get started very soon.
We want to thank our officials for today who donated their time.
But this is, we've had some crazy weather here on Kauai lately, but we have got good weather for football today. We started off with great weather, and we still got good weather here. But just want to throw a shout out to my buddy Arthur Broom, today's PA announcer, fellow Cowboy fan, also Councilman Arthur Broom, as he goes through the officials here in today's game, all from the KIF.
Donating your time out here.
I expect. Now we had 4 touchdowns scored within the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. However, the rest of the way we had just a 1 touchdown. I kind of it's hard to say, difficult. It's weird to say this, but I kind of expect things to get ramped up a little here in the second half. So 35 points scored in the first half. I believe we'll get more here in the second half. Get our scoreboard operator a little bit more workout on that scoreboard. See the quarterbacks warming up on the sideline for the white team. Ryan Johnson along with Kekainalu Simon.
And the Parks and Recreation. We got motivating function. We got Marcus Mariota, Tyson Alualu, Sean Laval, all playing in the NFL.
It'll be. Looks like we'll get started in just a few seconds here.
We got Matson, Arnell Mohana, Ivan Chopper.
The white will be kicking off to start here in the second half. That means Clifton Oliver, who won the kicking challenge, will get his foot on the ball to start the second half. With what we had going on in the first half, or during halftime, the kicking challenge, we had the punting into the rubbish can thing, this is just the most awesome and perfect opportunity for one of the most exciting plays in football, and that's an onside kick. And Clifton Oliver is pretty good at it.
Also, AMR donating the ambulance to today. Thank you guys.
So it looks like we've got the.
Football showcase together.
I know one thing. We've got
Also, again, streaming live.
Stokes and Nihipali Botello back deep for the black team. Can't quite make out the. That's Chandler Washington Villanueva also back deep. Here's the Oliver kickoff, and he hammers this pretty good. And it's going to be taken at about the 3-yard line. That's Stokes and Nihipali Botello, who has the ball right at the middle. And he'll get it out to the 25-yard line. That's where the black offense takes over. 1st and 10. So the black team gets the ball first on offense, as they lead it 21-14. In fact, Justin Wahinui has got all the touchdown passes for the black team. So he'll open up at quarterback. Receiver in a slot on each side. Cover 2 on the white team defense, and he drops the football, rolling right. He's got some room, launches it downfield, and he throws it about 5 yards into the black team's bench. A nice catch by somebody there on the bench after it bounced off a coach.
Yeah, you know, all he knew he had to pick that up in a hurry. Big Supilani Maile was right there at his feet, and I'm pretty sure St. Francis coach Kipakana watching on the stream, you know, liked what he saw from that play.
So 2nd and 10 after following the incomplete pass. This time they've got Lombard in there running back. At quarterback will be Nainoa Banks. And he's going to throw it. Looks to his right, and he goes downfield. We got some contact between, and now we got a penalty flag. And I can't make out who was the intended receiver. That was Ryan Ramones. Looked as if DB had his arm.
Yeah, that was kind of the same play that the black team started with. You know, Ueno in the pocket, down the right sideline to Ramones, and they're trying to see if Lenny will strike twice for them.
And that almost, I mean, even the battle between the DB and the receiver almost looked the same as well, where it was the DB was right there, and a nice catch by Ramones for the score. Well, we don't get gummy worms up here today? No? So, following the pass interference penalty, that'll be a 1st down for the black team. 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Napoleon in at quarterback, play action. They throw it outside. The catch is made by, looks like Jamin Sorono. He'll get it out near midfield, very close to the first down. He'll be shy by about a yard, so a 9-yard completion goes to Napoleon to Serrano.
I like the play call on that one. You know, it was a quick play action pass. I don't even think he tried to fake it, but it appeared he's going to give the ball, but he throws it to Serrano in the flat. Good. I think that might have been a run pass option for them. So good read there by Napoleon.
On 2nd and 1, ball to 49. A lot of options. That playbook opens up very wide on 2nd and 1. He can run it or even throw it. And I think teams like to go deep on this down and distance. Wahinui with trips to the far side. In shotgun, now points to his left as the white team brings up an extra backer. Low snap again. Wahinui picks it up. He gets hit at the 35, but gets away from pressure and gets tripped up as his shoestrings gets grabbed. He'll be brought down at the 40-yard line. Loss of 9 on the play. And I'm looking, it looks like Otuvaka who came up with the sack for the white defense. Now, if he doesn't grab his shoelaces, Wahinui could probably run for the first down, but also look for receivers downfield. 13-10 to go here in the third. Early going second half. Banks in at quarterback from Nanakuli. Good snap. Looking over the middle. He gets pressured. He gets grabbed from behind but flings it out there. Incomplete. Saved the sack. That'll bring up 4th down. And the black team will punt it. And that was Isaac Pasqua on the play defensively. So the black team will punt on 4th and 11. And I believe they're going to bring back Noah Lowe after Pahulu had a few chances to kick a few balls. High snap, but controlled nicely. Oh, and he hits a good one and drives the receiver all the way back to the 15-yard line. That is McGoldrick coming to the near side, makes a good move. He's at the 30. We got a penalty flag. Oh, he has got a lot of room in front of him, past midfield. He's at the 40. And that's Lowe who brings him down at about the 33-yard line. But we've got a pair of penalty flags at about the 20-yard line. Near McGoldrick took that punt. And you're probably looking at a block in the back against the white. But regardless, it was a good effort by Jeremy McGoldrick. That comes with 12:34 to go. It's a block in the back against the white team, and that's almost an automatic on a play like that. Kind of like, you know, 1 knee equals 2 feet. Or if the umpire throws a flag, it's almost always holding. So 1st and 10 for the white team. They'll spot the ball inside the 10 at just shy of the 8-yard line. And let's see who will be in it. Looks like I'm trying to figure out can't get a good look at the quarterback. That's going to be Ulu in that quarterback. And he's going to hand it off straight up the middle. And that's going to be Fa'au Matao across the 10-yard line. In fact, he'll get it out to the 13-yard line. Pickup of about 5 for Fa'au Matao.
Yeah, great run there by Fa'au Matao. You know, I think that's probably the longest gain that he had up the middle when it was designed run play from the get-go. And you could just see him there with his legs. It didn't stop moving, and he was able to get him 5 yards.
He gets the ball again. He hits the hole hard. He's got some green in front of him. He's at the 30-yard line, now the 35. Gets tripped up at about the 36, but falls to the 38-yard line. And that's going to be a 1st down. And once again, the 2nd straight handoff really slammed it right up the middle and got through the hole in good shape.
Yeah, we highlighted Fa'au Matao in the open and talking about how he was such a great player to see. And I know if you wanted to see him in person. And throughout the first half, he didn't really, other than that kickoff return, he didn't really seem like much. He was kind of contained. But here you see they're giving him some room in the box, and he's showing why he is top running back this year.
he in person he's a lot bigger than I thought. Here's the throw by Johnson. The catch is it's incomplete. Now it's intended for McGoldrick. He was at the 45-yard line. Turned a little behind him. Incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. And that'll come with Simon in at quarterback for the white team out of Pearl City. 11:41 to go here in the third. It's 21-14. And that's a black team ahead by a score. This time they'll go with 2 backs in the backfield behind of Simon. And they're going to hand it off. And that's Tua Olo. Turns the corner down the sideline. He'll get enough for the first down. Forced out of bounds at the black 45-yard line. And that's a nice run for the first down.
Yeah, a little misdirection there by the white team. They got a double back formation. And when you got Flamatau back there, you got 8 guys watching his numbers. So Tautolo, again, he was the starting corner for the Governors this year, so I'm pretty sure he's going to relish every opportunity he has in the backfield.
I know one thing, that when I was on Oahu for the D2 state championship, drove past Farrington. That's a beautiful field. Oh, my goodness. Another 2-back formation and a fumble as they try to hand it off, and I think the black team is on it, and it will be recovered by the black team. And let's see who's got it. That's number 32. That's going to be Randy Hattori out of Kealakehe. 5'10", 175. And wow, we get to throw out a new high school name out there.
Yeah, Hattori, he's probably their best player on Kealakehe, and the Wave Riders didn't have a really strong season, so you didn't have a lot of opportunities to be in the spotlight. And here he comes with a fumble recovery as the white team tried to do a little midline read option up the middle.
So Napoleon gets his turn at quarterback here on 1st and 10 at the black team's 46-yard line. He's got 1 back, Luis Mateo to his right. Good snap. They give it to Luis Mateo. Cuts it up the middle, across the line of scrimmage, and looks like they'll give him the 49-yard line. Pickup of 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Nice run by Luis Mateo.
Yeah, just like Tautolo, Luis Mateo was kind of a guy that had to play a little bit defense. He was playing a little DB, and with guys like Tyson Shimabukuro in the backfield, you don't get much snaps or carries when you get a talent like him. I know he got a screen pass and took it 7 yards against Kauai, which you probably saw. So probably another guy out there who's taking advantage of the opportunity that he gets from today's game.
Now it'll be Nainoa Banks at quarterback. Looks to his right, he's going to throw it out there. He's got a man open. Looks like Ramones, who makes the catch, could move to get free. He's across midfield into white territory near the 40-yard line. Excuse me, that's going to be Kingston Moses Sanchez. 5 and 6s are starting to look alike.
But it doesn't help that they got them both on the right position.
So first down for the black team. They're in white territory at the 39-yard line with 10:40 to go here in the third. Receiver in a slot on each side for Wahinui. Good snap. They're going to give it to Luis Mateo. Tried the middle, but bounced outside across the line of scrimmage. He'll get a yard, maybe 2 on the play as he gets ridden out of bounds by about 3 white defenders.
All right, put on!
So 10:23 remaining here in the third.
Yeah, I think that was actually Kapena Teixeira that he saw in his headlights. He was like, oh, big boy, I better get away from this guy.
I'll tell you what, if you were to make a feature and you called it characters of the game, there's no doubt Kapena Teixeira is going to be near the top of that list, or even at the top. Shotgun Napoleon, play action, going to throw it out there, incomplete. That was intended for number 7. That's Noah Alejado. You know what I want to see is bring in Teixeira on the blitz and see if he can hit his own quarterback.
I don't think I don't think Kapaa people want to see that. What I want to see is I want to see On offense.
Oh, you know, we were looking at some footage from that Damien game, and for whatever reason, that 30-yard run he had towards the end of the game, I keep watching that thing over and over and over again. It's just unbelievable. Receiver in the side on each side for Banks. Looks like Leighton Moniz in at running back to his left. Banks is going to throw it going downfield and overthrows his receiver Alejado once again. That'll bring up fourth down.
Number 7.
I believe that was Lahaina Luna's Donovan Defang out there on coverage on that little post route, corner route, excuse me. Defang, he was kind of a hybrid strong safety outside linebacker for the Lunas this year, and he probably was also a solid ball carrier. You know, the Lunas ran so many players. I think one time they had 16 guys run the ball in one game. So good two-way player for the Lunas, and he's probably one of the reasons why they won the state championship.
Also, I want to say, and I've known that one of their head coaches, Garrett Tejada, for a long time, since our Hilo days. Just want to say congratulations to him, and that was a nice win. If there's a school that deserves it, it's definitely Lahaina Luna. They've really battled hard the last few years.
Yeah, and you know they have a great program, well disciplined. If you ever listen to their alma mater, you know they take that seriously. They have a lot of pride for that community, and also a lot of fans on the mainland. You know.
Here's the low punt taken at the 2-yard line. As Fa'amatau coming to the near side across the 10. Oh, and gets nailed at about the 16, 17-yard line, and making a stop was number 32. That is Randy Hattori on the tackle. I'll tell you what, another step more onto the sideline, that could have drawn a flag.
Right, great tackle there by Hattori. You know, that's one that you're going to clip and you're going to replay and put that in your recruiting video.
As he gets older, he'll talk to his kids, hey, I tackled Chatlin Fa'amatau in that All-Star game. Here's Ryan Johnson in that quarterback play action. He'll throw it out there, and the catch is made behind the line of scrimmage as Lucas Kuipers out of Hilo High. And he'll lose a few yards on the play. Now coming in at quarterback is going to be Simon. That's Kekainalu Simon. 2nd and 13 for the white offense. 2nd and 12, excuse me. You know, so far, this has been a pretty good game. Good hitting, some offense, some defense, and the Black comes with a little safety blitz. Here's the catch made downfield. That is Almok Sang out of Kamehameha. He'll get enough yardage for the first down, but it was a nice throw, a little high, but he controlled it, turned around, went down the sideline, and got enough yardage for the first down.
Yeah, nice job there by Nalu Simon out of Pro City. He actually suffered, or he had a, let's just call it, he had kind of a sickness that held him out for a couple games, and you know, he was kind of their passer. They kind of had to put in their backup receiver, or the receiver as the backup quarterback. But so it's good to see him out here fresh and making some plays.
Now Johnson back to throw, goes down the sideline, incomplete. And once again, that was intended for Almok Sang. Good defense there by the Black team. But, you know, Pro City, I see it as a program right on the edge of being one of the better programs in all of Division II.
Well, you meant, you know, I know a couple years back they came down here and played Kapa, and that was a really great game. I think it was in the 20s, and you know, for Pro City they had a guy named Jordan Ta'amu who actually played in the first edition of this All-Star game, and he was the MVP of the game. So he ended up going to, I believe he went to a JC college somewhere. Couldn't get a D1 offer, but right now he's being recruited by teams like Ole Miss. So, you know, in this game, it's not like you don't have even though Division I college is not here, it's not like you can't go to Division I college, you know. Some players, they can go to the JC route or go to D2 school and eventually move on. So, you know, the path may be different, but the only thing that matters is the way to get there.
Fa'amatau with a 12-yard carry. He'll get the first down. That moves the chains. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. 9:03 to go here in the third quarter. It's Johnson at quarterback. He's got trips to the near side. And play action to Fao Matao. The catch is made by number 24, Chyson Morgan. And Morgan out of Nana Cooley will lose about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. In fact, you probably can consider that to be a lateral. Clock is on the move at 8:34 to go here in the third. Clouds looks like kind of holding off for us. Clouds hanging out over, Mount Waialeale area, which is better than it being near the airport. Trips far side for Simon. Looking left, he's going to throw it out there. And throws it between everybody. That's going to be picked off. Our first interception of the game. And I am looking at that is Kainoa Davis, number 17, from Maui High School, making a pick on Simon.
Yeah, Davis, also a baseball player. Talking to ESPN Maui's Jordan Hele, he says that Davis is a guy that started for multiple years and a guy that has really good ball skills. And here you see him coming with a poorly thrown ball.
Tough to tell who was the intended receiver. That was thrown between everybody. And Davis made a nice diving attempt for it. Wahinui now at quarterback. Excuse me. Lombard at running back. Wahinui going deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. And the intended receiver, I believe, was number 2, Wyatt Perez. And he's out of Kapolei. So a lot of these players, high school coaches, are here just to watch their kids in this game. Why not? What, about a 27-minute ride from Oahu? Why not? Now, if they get that bridge built between the two islands, that'd be a whole lot better. Here's Banks at quarterback for the Black. Gets a good snap, looking right. He's going to throw it out. No, he pulls it down, almost gets sacked, and lobs it out there. And I think the intended receiver is number 25, Ikaika Andaya out of Kalani. But one of the white D linemen had Banks by his collar and just couldn't bring him down.
You mentioned the intended receiver was Ikaika Ndaya, and he was kind of their top receiver for the Falcons this year. They had a great season. They almost made the playoffs, just 1 win away. So nice to see him get involved in this game.
Now it's Kurt Napoleon at quarterback. The give is to Lombard, goes up the middle, puts his head down and just tries to run over anybody in an opposite colored jersey. He'll get a couple of yards on the carry, but that will bring up a 4th down. In fact, I think we'll go 4th and 8.
2 on play, bringing up our 4th down.
And now that makes the Black 0 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. Despite leading 21-14, that is not, in fact, that's flat out a horrible percentage. And most times that's not going to win you a game.
Most times, but
most times.
They're still up 21-14, so let's give them some slack.
They had some very big plays early in this game, in the first quarter, in fact. Noah Lowe back to punt for McKinley. Good snap. High. Not a driving punt. It'll bounce somewhere about the 9-yard line, but takes a very nice roll to the 5-yard line, and that's where White takes over. 1st and 10.
It'll be 1st and 10, White from there.
Solid punt there by Lowe. Usually, for a punter, you're not really trying to go for distance because you can kick it as far as you want, but if it's like down the middle and the receiver has a lot of room to run, that's not a really effective punt. Here he is able to get it high and near the 5-yard line.
And if he little backspin on that. Now, all you guys here, you guys make a good golf tournament. If all you guys brought your clubs. Receiver in a slot on each side. That's looks like Ryan Johnson. And again, he's going to get picked as he threw it under his receiver. It's Kainoa Davis from Maui High getting the pick here. That's 2 interceptions thrown by the white in 2 consecutive possessions. And now the black with great field position.
Davis making some noise here in the last couple of minutes. I don't think we teased it yet, but our all-Hawaii teams will be coming out next week sometime. So I think he's trying to get his name on that list. You know, him playing in the senior game, trying to make some noise, but, you know, definitely some good highlights to show in his recruiting service, in his trip. You know, he's not a very big cornerback at 5'8", 140, but he's able to go up there and kind of climb the elevator a bit and pick up the sky.
Shotgun Wahinui. Looking over the middle, he's being pressured. He's going to have to run it, and he gets thrown to the Vidina Stadium grass at the 25-yard line. That'll be a pickup of a yard. That is Kapa'a's Kapena Tekshera on the tackle for the white defense. Feletoa Ailora from Waianae also in on the play. You know, Kapa'a throughout the year, Kapena Tekshera, and you know, really anchored that the middle of that line for the Warriors. And I know Coach Raposo is going to be sorry to see him go, you know, as he graduates, you know, at the end of this year. 2nd and 9 for the black. Banks in at quarterback this time, looking left. He's going to lob it down there, and that's caught by Chandler Washington Villanueva. Turns, takes it to about the 6-yard line. That's a 19-yard pitch and catch. First down for the black.
First and goal. Making a nice adjustment with Chandler.
You know, in fact, he was almost able to get into that end zone. Good tackle. You know, good tackle by the defense there.
Yeah, he's actually going against defensive back Keelan Baldomero out of Iolani. And for Baldomero, he was a first-team D1 defensive back, but he also was more of a safety type for them. So Washington Villanueva kind of take advantage of a guy kind of playing out of his position.
They've got a pair of Crusader receivers to the near side. Napoleon hands it off, and that's Sorono trying to far side. Good move at the 5. Now goes outside, and he is going to get close to the goal line. In fact, he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Jamin Sorono from Kapolei. And I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a run because the white defense had him about 2 or 3 different times. Goes down as a 6-yard touchdown run for Jamin Sorono.
No, great run there by Sorono. I think what's kind of funny is that most of the offensive linemen here on the black team, I think, in fact, there's 4 Kapolei offensive linemen on the black team. So definitely they deserve a lot of credit for the success that the black team has had. But I'm pretty sure June Jones is watching that play and be like, you know, why don't we give the ball to Sorono during the season? You know, maybe we could have scored more points that way.
Here's Gomez for the extra point. Good snap. The hold is down. And it's blocked. Without even a rush, it is blocked. And I'm trying to see who got it. He's coming towards the sideline. I think that was number 3. That was number 3, Kamaehu Kamaka, Kamehameha Kapalama, who blocked it. I think he was the only guy that jumped for the defense. So the extra point is no good. 27-14, black leading the white.
Black 27.
You know, if you need a player that's going to give you 100% effort every down, that's Kamaka. You know, they're not allowed to rush the kicker, but that doesn't mean you can just stop and let him play and give him a free shot. So also want to point out that he is also a basketball player, so his hops is definitely helped him with that play.
So the black team will kick off. Gomez comes in. And it's like the Sun will make an appearance here at Vidina Stadium. The 4 touchdowns that the black has scored today, that's the first rushing touchdown. Officially 6 yards on the play.
I think it might be Sorono's first rushing touchdown ever.
There's the kickoff. It's not very deep. It'll be taken at the 10-yard line. And patiently waiting for the blocking to set up. That is number 15, Kuipers. Takes it straight up the middle. And they bring him down somewhere about the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the white. Showed a lot of patience there, waiting for the blocking to set up.
Yeah, Coach Dramondo for Hilo, they're doing a great job at that program. They're 1 point away from getting their first, in fact, the first ever win for the BIIF in state tournament or in Division I play. So I give them a couple years, a couple years back. They were up 10-0 over Kahuku in the first round of state tournament. So I think for them, they benefit the most with this 3-tier tournament.
Got a receiver in a slot to the near side. They've got split backs in the backfield. First and 10 from the 27, and they're going to give it to, looks like number 43, Tuatolo. And he'll lose a bunch of yards there. I think he loses about 7 or 8 yards on a play. Excuse me, Tautolo. So second and 16, they move the ball back to the 21-yard line. And they're going to bring in Johnson at quarterback. The black shifting on D, low snap. Here's the blitz from coming off the edge, and he throws it downfield. The catch is, looks like we got an interception here. We got a penalty flag coming well after the play. That's going to be Stokes and Nihipali Botello, who made a great leaping interception. And I'm pretty sure the flag is going to be for a couple of players coming off the bench. And the intended receiver was Lucas Kuipers. And that just shows how athletic Nihipali Botello is.
I thought it was going to be impressive grab by Kuipers.
So it's going to be an incomplete pass. Unsportsmanlike conduct for a couple of players coming on the field after the play. I'm one of those guys. We can let that one slide.
It's an all-star game. If LeBron James can do the bottle flip on the court in the middle of an NBA game, they should be able to do it.
That's going to be just shy of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and maybe 2 yards to go. But yeah, I'm kind of like you. We can overlook that one.
That was a great play. The players on the sideline was definitely stoked for Stokes and Nihipali Botello. So I don't see what's problem with that.
So 3rd and 1, ball at the white 36. Handed off. That's Fa'amatau coming to the near side, turns the corner. He's at the 45 now, midfield, going down the sideline, and gets pulled down from behind by number 51, Tainono Gaulua out of Farrington. And I'll tell you what, defensively, that's a heck of a hustle play.
Well, it kind of helps when you have to tackle your teammate. Galuau and Fa'amatau both play for the Governors, and I think they probably worked something out where Fa'amatau told him, "Hey, I'll make these 2 guys miss, and you can get the tackle."
One of those. If you're gonna hit me, just kind of grab and shove me down. Don't stick it in there.
But I think we should point out that Galuau is a defensive tackle. So when your defensive tackle can make plays downfield, more power to him.
There's Tautolo right down the middle of that defense to the 20-yard line. It's going to be a 14-yard pickup and the black team first down. But that's a nice run right up the middle. Inside of 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Shotgun, Simon. And fakes the pass, gives it to Fa'amatau, trying to get outside. If he turns the corner, he's going to pick up a bunch of yards, but cannot. He'll get about 2, maybe 3 yards to the 18-yard line. Pickup of 2 yards. The clock is inside 3:30 to go in the 3rd. And again, during that play, or before that play, I was looking at Coach Jones walking down the sideline. It doesn't matter where he goes, he kind of draws the crowd, huh? So clock moving at 3 minutes to go. Johnson in shotgun for the white. And he's going to throw it, looking to his right, and that's picked off. And this is going to be a big play. Coming down the sideline, that is Jalen Gonzalez out of Waianae. And he'll take it inside of the the black territory. And white team's got the great black team's got great field position.
Great pick there by Gonzalez. You know, he was kind of their leading linebacker coming back this season, and he is the best linebacker for the Sea Riders this past year. He actually had 2 interceptions coming to this game, so he looks kind of oversized, but he's able to read the play, and make a play on the ball.
It looked as if he stepped right in that pass pattern and picked it off, showing good hands. Now Kurt Napoleon in at quarterback. And he is going to go, they throw it out there to number 36. Makes a great move, and that's Valadares of Mililani down the sideline into the end zone. Touchdown, white team. That'll turn out to be a 45-yard touchdown pass, but really it was about a 3-yard pass that turned into a big play for the black team. Now I know Kurt Napoleon will get credit for a touchdown pass there, but that was all Valadares on that play.
Yeah,
nice run.
Great player. He set the all-time reception or in a single game with 215 yards in a quarterfinal game against Waianae. So he definitely has talent, and last year he looked good because they had guys like Mackenzie Milton around, but here he's still showing that he has it going.
There's Gomez on the extra point, and this one he sticks through the uprights, and it's now 34-14, black over the white. And that's the kind of guys you got on this field. You'll get plays like that where a little pass turns into a huge play for a score. But now a 20-point lead for the black team. Still a lot of time, 2:36 to go here in the third. We've got the entire fourth quarter to go. So there's a lot of football to be played before this one's over with. But just the amount of playmakers on this field, like I said earlier, there's some college recruiters, coaches here. They just got to be drooling over this. And I think this is I know we've had all-star games in the past, goodwill games, I think they called it at times. But nowadays, I just think it takes on a whole different meaning than what we had like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I think initially the hub game was only for Oahu teams, so you didn't really get a feel of the neighbor island players and how they stack up. So in this kind of game like this, you get everyone making plays no matter what island they come from.
Now McGoldrick takes that low line drive kickoff at the 15, and he gets it near the 40-yard line, and that's where the white takes over. Now is this where we see Capena Teixeira line up at quarterback? Doesn't look like it. He scored I think in the regular season 5 touchdowns playing a Wildcat position. Usually you go Wildcat, you get a receiver or running back, but no, they used their nose tackle back there. He also threw for a touchdown pass.
To Kurt Napoleon.
Kurt Napoleon against Waimea at Hanapepe Stadium. Here's the handoff, and I think that's going to be Fa'amatau as he will lose a yard on the play. In fact, that's a game that Waimea really had Kapaa in their back pocket, leading 12-0 at one point. So 2:12 to go. It'll bring up 2nd and 11 for the white team.
Here's some cheers there for Rosehill, nose guard out of Kamehameha School's Big Island. For the past 2 years, that school actually hosted this bowl game. So nice to see that they're able to travel from all the way down there to the northern part of the Hawaiian Islands.
Well, we could have played this game on Nihao, Use coconuts for the football. Here's Simon. Catch is made at the 35-yard line. And a play that shouldn't have gone for a whole lot. We'll put the ball at the 45-yard line. That's close to the first down. And it looks like Ramones who made the catch for the white. Oh, excuse me. That is Kabunak who made the catch for the white team.
Yeah, great catch and run there by Kabunak. He actually was injured to start the season. He suffered an injury sometime during the summer, and they kind of lacked a playmaker. But he came in during league play and made some noise. Last season, when they had Kumoko Noah at the outside receiver, Kabunak was kind of in the slot. But this season, they wanted to free him up, so they transferred him to the outside, and he still made plays.
Shotgun. Looks like Simon hands it off to Fa'amatau. He's got blocking on the edge, uses a stiff arm, gets the ball out to the 45-yard line, and that's going to be Nihipali Botello on the tackle. But not until Fa'amatau can get the first down as he takes it to the 44 of the black team.
Yeah, if you want a great picture, that was one there for you. You got Stokes, Nihipali Botello, arguably one of the best versatile player in the state, and maybe best athlete ever against the best running back. So that would have been a picture-perfect play right there.
About 32 seconds to go here in the third. Late substitutions, Kabunak comes into the game. They've got a receiver and a slot on each side. Looks like Fa'amatau in the backfield. And they're going to throw it going down the sideline and into coverage, and intended for Kame Kim Choi Keb Alo, incomplete. That was Kekoa Kaupuiki defending on the play. And I was reading in here, I think he said his name was Tristan.
Yeah,
that's Kame.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure PA announcers in the state would rather call him Tristan than call him Choi Kebalo. But I think even the IAPA guy just call him Kame Alo. So they kind of got smart and shortened his name for a bit.
Here's the handoff for Amatau. Off tackle play, goes downfield, gets hit late, dropped to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards. He is going to be very close to the first down. And the third quarter will come to a close here at Vidina Stadium. 34-30, black over the white. And we're going to go ahead and take a break between the third and fourth quarter. When we get back, the last 15 minutes of play here in the Life Champions Senior Bowl at Vidina Stadium. So Iolani Classic on Scoring Live. And we got both semifinals, a dunk contest, as well as a championship on December 20th and the 21st. That's a lot of... There's been some okay talents gone through that tournament throughout the years, huh?
I wouldn't say just okay. Teams like Oak Hill with their bevy of NBA players that have come through that school. So I think Oak Hill is in there at that tournament along with another top-ranked team in the nation. So if you want to watch good basketball, if you want to watch alley-oop dunks, you get that. You don't get that in Hawaii often. So that is the tournament to go to.
Fa'amatau for a gain of 6 on first down, 2nd and 4. I remember when I lived on Oahu, I think I remember seeing Darren Hancock playing that tournament. If I'm not mistaken, George Lynch once played in that tournament too, I believe. Trips to the near side. They're going to hand it off to number 43, that's Tautolo, trying the far side. And he'll get pushed out of bounds right about the first down marker. In fact, they're going to say, no, he stepped out of bounds a couple of yards short. It'll bring up 3rd and 2, so gain of 2 on the play. In this game, 19 different players have caught a pass. For the white, 10 players. For the black, 9. There's a Tautolo up the middle. And this time, he'll get the first down. So first down for the white. 13:27 to go in this game. So 1st and 10. White trailing 34-14.
Yes, turnovers killed the white team in that third quarter. They had a lot of opportunities in the red zone, but 3 picks is not a recipe for success.
Simon back to throw it. Looking over the middle, throws it. He's got a man, and that's incomplete. And let's see. That's going to be Kaina Lewis from Hilo High defending on the play. And a nice play there is he had to get up in the air to knock that ball down. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the White offense. I kind of thought if the ball was thrown just a little earlier, he may have been able to have his receiver wide open. So White team at the ball at the 21-yard line of the Black. As Matau in the backfield, they give it to him up the middle, breaks one tackle and able to take it to the 16-yard line. Gain of 5. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the White.
Yeah, it's the 4th quarter. You know, it's goal time. Down 3 scores. You know, I get that. You know, we have to give players their reps and their share of time, but you want to win this football game. You know, Matau definitely one of the top players in this game. You know, you give him the ball, and I would be surprised if he gets the ball again.
I think this is the kind of time where the best of the best will step up and start making plays. Shotgun. Give it to Fa'amatau again. Good move in the middle. He's at the 10, spins away, but able to take it to just the 9-yard line. In fact, they'll give him the 10-yard line. Gain of 6, and that'll be enough for the first down. 1st and goal at the 10 for the White. Gage Singh of Aya on the tackle for the Black defense. I know one thing. A lot of the players on defense hasn't seen kind of the shake and bake that Fa'amatau brings to the table. Shotgun Simon's going to give it to Tautolo. He tries the corner inside the 5, knocks down an official, and that's going to be a touchdown for the White. That'll turn into a 9-yard scoring run for TJ Tautolo. And the White creeps a little closer here. Like I said, a lot of football to be played. I say Tautolo's going to hang on to that football and take it home with him. So Oliver in for the extra point for the White. Well, when you think about it, that was good teamwork by the officials. One official got knocked down. Other official stepped up, was on that play all the way, put his arms up saying, yes, touchdown.
Hey, you know, officials, they also have to go through a standard too, and they have to make sure that they're in the play to see everything. And, you know, you got to give credit to the official for taking his job seriously to be up and close to make sure on the goal line to see if that was a touchdown or not.
Here's the extra point by Oliver, and he splits the uprights. That is 34-21, the Black leading by 13 now. 11:49 to go in this one.
Yeah, so, you know, we mentioned Fa'amatau. He was the drive starter for the game. His teammate, TJ Tautolo, was able to finish it. And, you know, for Fa'amatau, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be an all-Hawaii first-team selection. And, you know, for those that are trying to figure out who our selections are, you know, stay on the lookout for that next week for D1 and D2. And I know the Star Titan has their all-state teams. I think Cover 2 also has their own set of teams. But I think one thing that, you know, especially for myself, we take pride in doing is that we separate D1 and D2. And I think it's only fair to give credit to the players that deserve it and whatnot. Probably a lot of Kapaa players on that list. You know, who's some kind of players that come to mind, Joel?
There's no doubt Kapena Tekshera, Mana Kupaya, who we've seen a little in this game. Maybe even Asotasi, Daniel Asotasi. You know, probably Gabe Keener. He had a good start to the season, kind of tailed off towards the end. Had a couple of had a nice touchdown in the state title game against Lahaina Luna. Had some big catches down the stretch for Kapaa in that game as well. So maybe him. I mean, you know, there's Division II, I think, has gotten so much better over the last 3 or 4 years that a lot of times, you know, like all-state type teams for Division II included just maybe the top 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah.
But now I think you can go, you know, maybe 8, 9 teams deep to get to select players from.
Yeah. You also can't leave out offensive tackle Mo Onutoa, who was supposed to be in this game, but he had engagement to go on a recruiting trip. So hopefully everything's going well for him.
His catches, the reception is taken at the 1 yard line by Stokes Me, Paulie Botello, trying to get outside, turns the corner, and he is going to get a nice return out of this as he is hit at the 35-yard line and pushed out of bounds, and that's where the Black will take over.
Nice return by Stokes Me, Paulie Botello.
But I think also when you say about that, there's a Arbogast for Kapaa, who was teamed up with Texar in the middle, might get some mentions too, because those two guys just really was the heart of that Kapaa defense. But Lahaina Luna, man, that team just totally showed up in the title game. They played some ball that night or that afternoon.
Yeah, you gotta give credit to that staff. They didn't really have any superstars in that team. They had to get everyone involved, and that worked well for them.
The way that team runs, or that program runs, I don't think they really feature anybody. They feature everybody. Like the last really big name I think out of that team was probably the quarterback Filiki Tonga. But other than that, they feature everyone. Here's a handoff straight up the middle. That's Leite Moniz from Kapaa. Takes it out to the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 5. Well set up 2nd and 5 for the Black offense. But no, I really believe in Division II. There's no doubt Kapaa will get some mentions. Kolowaina, Damien, St. Francis, no doubt about that.
You also can't forget about the teams from the OIA.
Yeah, Waialua, Cinderella story of the year. They were very good. Waipahu is a good team too. They've got a great running back. There's Moniz. Once again, he'll get enough for the first down. Forward progress should be the 46. Gain of 6, first down for the White.
Yeah, speaking of running backs, you got here Leighton Moniz, two-sport athlete, getting 2 good runs up the middle in the early going, and I think the Black team are gonna kind of milk the clock a little bit, play some little prevent, and if you can get 5 yards a pop on a carry, then why not?
Actually, last season, Leighton Moniz, I think he threw 1 pass, but he was for most of the season a backup quarterback until Teili Fonua stepped up to take over that role. But Moniz in the backfield once again. They go shotgun, and they're going to give it to Moniz, trying the far side, turns it upfield. He's at midfield, dives forward. He'll get to the 48 of the White team, and that's going to be a pickup of 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, I seen Moniz carrying that ball, stretch left, and for the first 5 seconds of that play, I seen him, and all of a sudden he got covered up by a huge white body, and that was Supilani Maile coming over from the defensive tackle spot to chase him down and stop him, help out with the tackle.
The weekend at St. Francis was here on Kauai. Kapaa was on Maui against Lahaina Luna. I kind of wanted to see St. Francis and Kapaa match up that day. Here's the handoff to Moniz again, and he's going to lose a couple of yards. And they're going to say forward progress is the 49-yard line. Well, depending on what country, maybe the 51. But loss of a couple of yards on that play for Moniz.
Yeah, speaking of St. Francis and Kapaa, at the start of the season, I thought that Damien was more better at the skill position, but Kapaa definitely had the stronger linemen. And I guess if you like low-scoring game where it's a battle in the trenches, then I guess that's the game for you to watch between Kapaa and St. Francis. If Coach Phil Raposo and Coach Kipakana is listening to this broadcast, maybe you guys can set something up.
Yeah, let's get something going. Here's a hand. No, Napoleon's going to keep it, trying the far side, across midfield, and shoots for the 45-yard line. I think he's going to be short of the first down. And I'm going to throw this out there. Some people may not like it, but I kind of thought Kauai High School was playing probably maybe even the best football in the KIF at the time when the season ended. Even though Kapaa won the championship, Kauai High School was playing very good football, led by Derek Borrero.
Yeah, I think the year when Kauai went to the state championship game, I believe all the games they played with Kapaa that year was decided by a touchdown or
yes.
less. So like we mentioned earlier, I think Division II needs to have 8 teams in the state tournament so you can get these teams involved.
I mean, because, there's no doubt I thought, St. Francis was a tournament quality team, when the season ended. And unfortunately, the ILA just gets one team in. And they're going to hand it off straight up the middle. And there's a lot of room up there. And that's going to be Ali Otto. Inside at the 15-yard line. Wow, that was a slam up the middle. Big gain out of that play. And that'll be first down to the 15-yard line. And I tell you what, a couple of steps more, he probably could have stuck it into the end zone.
Yeah, gutsy call there by the black team. They was 4-1. You're up by 2 scores. Usually you would just be confident with punting it away, but they get a first down, they can run more clock.
And you're gonna give it to him again. Ali Hado inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. But the black team they just want to eat the clock. If they can get a score, fine. But they just want to. They're up by 13. Just want to keep the clock moving.
Hey, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of hungry boys on that team right now. Pretty sure a lot of hungry parents. Great food here in Kauai. Maybe they wanted to kind of end this game quicker so that they could get to Tip Top before closing time. We went there for breakfast and it was
Did you
really
try
good.
the oxtail soup? There we go. There's the handoff, and they go nowhere. And that was number 27. No, that was Ronson Young, who on the carry for the black team.
Yeah, I believe our big boss, Brian Ng, the founder of Scoring Live, got the oxtail soup, and he seems like he enjoyed it. So,
oxtail soup in the morning, you just can't beat it. Little scrambled egg on the side is good too, I've been there once or twice. Oh my goodness, that is Otuvaka, who closed out the lights on Wahinui as he comes up the sack all the way back to the 27-yard line.
Back-to-back plays, you got a guy that's out here making tackles. And, I went to their practice during the summer, and their offense couldn't do anything because Otuvaka was out there crashing on their plays. They couldn't run anything because it's not that they were horrible. It's just their defense was so stacked that they really couldn't get any traction going in the trenches against when you got a guy like that trying to run against.
Funny you say that because Kapar had the same problem as well, that when they tried to run their offense, they had to take Kapana Tekshar out of the game, out of practice, because they just couldn't get anything going. 5:28 to go here in the game, and I remember when St. Francis came here, Coach Akana told me that their team is not really at full strength because they had about 3 starters who are playing baseball that just got to the team like days before they came to Kauai.
Yeah, I think one of those guys is actually his son.
Yes.
Bubba Akana, shortstop for the Saints. It's kind of interesting. I know in the OA at least, they kind of held back. There's no spring ball, so they can't put on the pads till maybe about 2 weeks before the season starts, if not later than that. So I know for teams that like to run the ball, especially in the trenches, you can't really get a full feel of your team unless you get that action involved. So I'm pretty sure it's something that all the coaches would rather have, would want to get fixed. I know they want to do it to limit concussions, but I would rather practice doing it in practice than go in a game and not be prepared on how to, tackle someone with a helmet, or rather not tackle someone with a helmet.
I know the trend now for football at just about every level is to limit hitting. Hence the remote control dummies that started in the Ivy League, and now it's made its way into the NFL. I know, limit hitting has turned out to be a good thing overall, I think. Lombard in the backfield for Karuku. Here's Napoleon going to throw it downfield, and I think that's going to be an interception. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. That's going to be Jalen Saole out of St. Louis, who comes with the pick at the 1 yard line, and a nice play there by the Crusader.
I think he actually caught it with 2 hands, but lost his footing for a bit and actually held on to 1 hand. And great job there by Sola. I know in the first play, or the first game of the season, which ended up getting postponed because the lights at Milani was shut off, he pulled down an interception and he broke his collarbone the same play. So he's kind of out for a couple weeks. But great to see him back on the field making plays.
But when I think of St. Louis, he's throwing Kauai High. I want to throw a shout out to Nate Herbig, who plays at Stanford, former Red Raider, former St. Louis Crusader. I know his parents are here today. So here we go, 1st and 10 at the 1 yard line, and they go right up the middle, and a gain of about 6. And I think that was
some nice positive yards. Gain of 5.
I'm not sure who took it. They had a bunch formation. That was number 43, Tautolo on the carry. They had all the backs near the line of scrimmage. And they're going to go, in fact, they go Wildcat here. And that should be enough for the first down. And that was Fa'amatau this time. That's a big first down for the white team because they were at the 1 yard line. Now they've got some room to do some business out there.
Seems like they're going to be content with this formation.
Looks like the white team going with the Wildcat.
So 1st and 10 at the 13. And Fa'amatau again in the middle of the defense, across the 20 to the 22, maybe the 23 yard line. And that's going to be very close to another white team first down. And it looks like they're going to exit the conventional offense and go Wildcat here. Fa'amatau once again up the middle. He's got enough yardage for the first down as he crosses the 25. Clock at 4:12 to go here in the 4th.
Yeah, there's a lot of big boys on the line right now moving the pile. You got Kuku's Vilificiai at center. You got Christian Kafusi from Campbell out there. And you also got guys like Kapono Kamai from Wailu's walking at the field right now. So if they're getting 5 yards a pop, I don't see why you shouldn't keep doing it. The only thing that's going to hurt them is the clock right now.
Looks like Ulu in the game for at quarterback. He'll throw it out to his left, and that's incomplete. And I think that was intended for Travis Kaloa. That was Kainalu, that was Kekainalu Simon at quarterback. So we got 3:53 to go, 2nd and 10. As this game is winding down, White trying to make a comeback here. Simon's going to throw it, and the receiver went inside. Simon went outside. That was intended for Lucas Kuipers.
3rd down and 10.
And Kuipers has been a big part of this offense throughout the day. So Fa'amatau has got 22 carries for 144 yards in this game. That's some big numbers. Simon in at quarterback again. They're going to go draw play. And that's number 17, Shimizu, gets it past the 30-yard line. And I think he's going to be brought down to 32.
Again, we want to thank our sponsors.
Great run there by Shimizu. I don't think he's ever been stopped behind the line of scrimmage so far in this game. He's been kind of an unassuming player. He doesn't look much, but he's always able to get at least 4 yards a carry. So great job by him.
They've got trips formation to the near side. Simon looking left. He's going to go downfield. That's picked off. I believe that's going to be Botello once again. And Botello down to about the 32-yard line. It looks like they're doing some bear hugging out there after the play. That was the kind of time where you see a little playfulness come out in some of especially the teammates.
Yeah, it looks like the players on the black team that are doing some hugging is with Vili Fisiai and Kaluku. And when we were doing our 16 and 16 series, he had one of the best lines I've ever heard. We were just talking about running the ball for the Red Raiders, and he said, when you can put someone on their back and not go to jail for it, there's no better feeling in the world. So definitely a fun guy to hang out with, and you see the black team kind of playing around with him.
So here's the black team on offense. The handoff is given to Moniz. Gets a yard, maybe 2 on the play. In fact, they don't say back to the line of scrimmage at best. Clock inside of 3 minutes here at Vidina Stadium. The Black should be feeling pretty good about a 34-21 lead. In fact, they'll say a loss of a yard on the play for Moniz. They're bringing Kurt Napoleon at quarterback. I don't know what this has been a well-played game. I mean, we had plays where there were consecutive interceptions, but other than that, well-played game. Napoleon in shotgun. And he's going to be pressured, gets hit. He's going to be sacked all the way back to the 45-yard line. And sacking Napoleon is going to be number 58. That is Icona Fernandez. So teammate on teammate beating there. Probably realize, hey, that's my guy in my arms. I'm just going to kind of bring him down nice and soft. So they'll make it 3rd and 17 for the Black offense. Timeout called for by the White.
I know normally at this kind of time, you're just going to run the ball. You're just going to run the ball. But I give credit to the coaches there on the Black sideline. They figure, it's an all-star game. Let's see if we can get a pass going. And you know what? If they get sacked, then the other team gets a chance to get the ball back and make something happen. Let's make this game interesting and not see a bunch of kneel downs to end, most of these guys' high school careers.
See, that's the thing, and I agree with you there. That I think the coaches realize that for some kids, this is probably their last high school game of their career. For most kids, they'll probably go on to the next level. So for the kids that this could be the last game, keep playing. Let them play. So 2:08 to go here in today's Life Champion Senior Bowl, the 3rd annual. The Black team coming back onto the field. Some of the sponsors that have made today's game possible: the County of Kauai, Mayor Bernard Carvalho, the Parks and Recreation Department, led by our referee today, Lenny Raposo, Motivate Foundation, Marcus Mariota, St. Louis and the Tennessee Titans. And looks like a penalty in the middle of that little pile-up at the 43-yard line. Loss of 3 yards on the play. Also Tyson Alualu, St. Louis and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sean Laval from Farrington, Washington, the Washington Redskins. Also Island Air. Man, Island Air could not have put all these guys on one plane. That's a heavy load. Also the Marriott Courtyard Kauai, one of my favorite hotels on this island, right on the beach. Matson, RNL Ohana, Island Shoppers, and Wa'alani Enterprises. Our buddy Ricky out there, Waimea alum and fellow Cowboy fan.
Cowboys are having a good season, right?
They're doing okay. They're doing okay.
For those listening in, my partner here, he's a very heavy Cowboys fan.
Let's put it this way.
Facebook posts, Instagram posts, everything.
We're enjoying life. We're enjoying life. Unlike last season, where we weren't enjoying life.
I think Joe kind of gave me a Super Bowl prediction. It would be the Cowboys and the Raiders in there. So for you Raider fans out there, I know one of our videographers, CJ Karang, is a Raiders fan. So
hey, I cannot lie. They find a way to win, and that's good enough in the NFL.
I think it's good enough in anything.
Yeah, exactly. Except LSU. They want you to win and win big. Here's the punt by Lowell for the Black team. And it takes a bit of a roll to about the 15-yard line, I guess. And I think everybody's starting to realize that this is pretty much over. Let's get out there and have some fun. Enjoy the last minute 52 that you were in an all-star game with some of the best players in this state. And some of the best coaches, too,
I kind of actually want to see them kind of put the pedal to the metal and kind of go no huddle, run on 2-minute offense and get that thing going.
Halfback passes, reverses, all that kind of stuff. The back pages of the playbook.
Or something they draw on the dirt.
Wouldn't be the first time that happened in this stadium. I mean, there's a quick story about that. Here's Simon back to throw, and pass is completed at about the 22-yard line. Treston, Troy Caballero, but there was a playoff game. Kauai High School, and I think it was like Pahu, and the game was a total rain. And I was told that Kauai High School scored on a late pass that the play was drawn up in the mud. Here's another throw. This time it's completed for a first down. And I think that was Kabanak who made the catch for the first down, and it was. But yeah, so if they're drawing up plays in the dirt down there, it wouldn't be the first time for this stadium.
You kind of had to rub it in that Waipahu lost here, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'll tell you what, I remember that game well. It was a rainstorm, and it was a great game. I remember that night well. And I can't remember the Kauai High safety, but he had like 3 picks in that game. His last name was Largusa. So minute 13 to go, incomplete on the pass.
It was, in fact, complete to Kapolei coach Darren Hernandez on the sideline.
Oh, okay. Good catch for Coach Hernandez. See, I'm disappointed. He walks up here in the press box. I met him. I've known him for a while, but he didn't have the toothpick. Here's Simon on the throw, and he overthrows everybody. One bouncer into the bench, incomplete. And the intended receiver is Oise of St. Louis.
I think the story of the toothpick is that he puts it in whenever he's upset about something in the game, and for a game like this, I don't think he wants to be upset about anything. So I think it's a good sign that he didn't have the toothpick with him today.
Looks like he was in cruise control. So my Kapaa High School math tells me there's 68 seconds left in this game. Simon with the throw, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down for the white team. But I just know this. I know the stadium's not packed to the hilt, but the people of Kauai they've appreciated this game coming over to the Garden Island. So 1:04 to go, and Simon will line up in shotgun once again. This is one of those things where the safeties and corners, they're looking to get a pick here. They go deep downfield, incomplete. And that was intended for Leland Oise from St. Louis, 5'5", 155.
Yeah, you mentioned trying to get a pick. That was Franklin's Isaiah Tamua back there, trying to run him back and trying to haul that in, get some stats in his game, trying to get something for his highlights. Talk to him for a bit. Great kid, very active. He was a safety for the Governors this season, and I believe he also had a 80-yard touchdown interception return against Mililani in a great game. So definitely a good player there.
So 57.2 seconds remaining. Everybody's starting to lollygag out there on the field. Take it easy. And say, hey, you didn't play. Get in there. Get in there. Get their uniforms dirty or something. Look, Mom, I played hard in this game. Now they're just going to take a knee and just kind of get out of here. I remember a couple of years ago, and it was Kapaa, and then it was a preseason game, and they didn't take a knee. It was a close game at the end of the game, and I asked the coach, why didn't you take a knee? And he said, we never lined up from under center. My quarterback wouldn't know what to do. And nowadays in football, a lot of offenses don't go under center, so in that kind of situation, some of the times quarterbacks, they kind of don't got the feel of getting their hands on their center's butt.
Yeah, well, I've seen one team where they took a knee out of shotgun, but enough about taking knees. As this game comes to close, Joe, what are some things that you like from today?
First of all, I just like how everybody competed. Got out there, and it wasn't one of those let's run into you, knock you down, pick you up kind of deal. They were hitting out there. Guys were going, pretty hard at each other, and I like that. And that's the thing, is these guys are competitors, they're athletes, and I think they know that if they go half speed, they'll get hurt. So they come in here and they played hard, and I like that.
What are your kind of thoughts about having here a day game here on the Garden Isle?
As much as I love football during the day, I really enjoy the Friday Night Lights type of deal, and still trying to get used to the day game things here on Kauai. And if we can work out this whole bird issue, this game probably would have been held at night. But both teams on the field congratulating each other, shaking hands, and saying what a good game, how you doing, here's my email, here's my Instagram, all that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and, as players are milling around in the middle of the field, let's take a quick timeout. It's the Life Champion Senior Bowl on ScoringLive.com. We're back at Medina Stadium. The final score is 34-21, the black over the white. As you can see, the teams, the players on the field shaking hands and hugging each other. And just a great event here today, right?
Yeah, definitely all these players want to compete to get a scholarship from one of these coaches that are visiting, and also want to cap their season off on a good note, and see other players on the field right now kind of playing around with each other, and they've definitely loved this experience.
Well, looks like they enjoyed being here on Kauai. Kauai enjoyed having everybody here. I mean, the coaches, the players, and the families that followed them, as well as the crew from Scoring Live. So this is a big event for the island. Yeah. So thank you very much for this game being held here, and for all the people that helped put it together, because believe me, getting this much kids from all over the state, that's a big effort.
Yeah, so I know we're the ones doing the game as Scoring Live, but we got to really give credit to the Hawaii Football Club, put on by Kiala and Celise Pule. They're kind of stepping in the shoes a little bit that was left by PIA Director Doris Sullivan, in a way to promote our student athletes. So big kudos to them, putting it on. Definitely to have the vision to see it through. Here it's the third year, and they're planning to go to more different islands. Maybe next year would be on Maui, and then maybe the year after that would be on Oahu. And I think it's a pretty good rotation. Kind of like how the national championship was, where it's rotated between the BCS bowl games.
Well, it's been it was a great game today. Once again, the final score is 34-21, the black over the white, and for my broadcast partner, Michael Lascaro, the Scoring Live crew here at Medina Stadium, I'm Manahola Joe Pahukula. Have a great weekend, drive safely, and aloha. Out of here.